It's time for Larry Knows Sports. My guests tonight, representing the Houston Rockets from Red Oak, Iowa, John Follow Through Blue. Representing the Sacramento Kings via San Diego, Marcus the Maddog Haugen. And representing the New York Knicks, the really athlete Bane. All right, it is Thursday, June 23rd, 7:50 p.m., 2022, the night of the NBA draft, where hope springs eternal. And we have three fun guys here tonight to break it all down to you. That's John Blue, that's Marcus, and that's me, Larry the Athlete. It's it's a fun top three. We kind of know how it's going to go, but it's not for sure. Supposedly there are rumors lately that Orlando is at the last minute thinking about Banchero. John, I'll start with you. I've asked you this probably every week, but it's got to keep updating. What is your top three as of now? Because your Rockets have the third pick.
So my first choice, the guy I want most is Chet. I've gone back and forth, but I want Chet. Because I think he's going to be a game breaker on defense no matter what. And I like it. And I think he can be potentially a great offensive player too, but I think he's going to be amazing. So I'm okay with Jabari or Banchero. Totally fine with those guys. I think they have great advantages. What I do not want, the thing I absolutely do not want that is rumored, is that the Rockets would move up, giving up draft capital to move up to take Banchero. Like that, there's talk that they want to move up to one to make sure they get Banchero. Yeah, I don't know. Kevin O'Connor was talking about it. Like there's a rumor, because I think Orlando's maybe floated that they're interested in Banchero.
They have. And I guess it might just be that posturing try to get.
I know. And I'm like, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Like you cannot. All three of these guys have the potential to be great. And I don't think there's enough difference that you can justify giving up real draft capital to get one ahead of the other. Like that would drive me nuts if they did that.
Yeah. Especially because Banchero might be there at
right.
3.
If they did it for Chet, I would be more okay with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because we know Chet's probably not going past number 2 with OKC.
Right.
I don't know. It depends what the price was, because it totally makes sense for Orlando because they probably want Jabari, and Jabari will be there at number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's great, and it was great for Boston to get Jason Tatum plus a pick.
Right.
Like, yeah. I just don't want to be the others on the Sixers side of that. Right. That's
so. Houston has, I think, 16 and 24.
Somewhere around there, 16 or 17.
Would you use 16 to move up?
No. I think they should use those 2 later picks. I would like to see them package those 2 later picks to move up to get the second pick somewhere in like the top 12 or something like that.
Yeah, let me pull up 15. The order real quick just to make sure that they do in fact have.
Because
16. It's not 16. Atlanta's 16. Houston has 17.
Yeah, 17. That's where the Nets landed with their regular season record. So that's that Nets pick.
I might be interested in 11 for 17 and 26. Maybe that's not. I don't know. That's a big drop, but I'd be interested in the Knicks trading down, which we'll get to. Marcus, how do you rank the top 3?
The top 3. I kind of agree with John. I think Chet is, to me, like the most fun, interesting player. Um, yeah, uh, I guess I would go with Jabari second, Banchero third. Um, I think I don't know. I just kind of feel like Jabari's skill set is easier to plug into like any team. I feel like he could fit with, if you're building around someone, it's so much easier when the piece you have fits with almost anyone and any style.
Yeah. I think you're saying Bankero fits kind of with any style.
Or Jabari does.
Jabari does. Oh yeah, because he's a shooter and he could kind of do anything. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that's why Orlando really likes him at number 1. I still personally go Chet, Bankero, Jabari. Just because I'm just thinking of the upside, and probably Jabari, he does fit anywhere, and I mean if he's an elite shooter like he has been in college, I mean that he has Kevin Durant as his possible ceiling. But I think he has probably the lowest ceiling of the 3, but the highest floor. It's tough. I mean, I'd be happy with either, as you said, John. Okay, so then the draft gets really interesting at number 4, where the Sacramento Kings have the pick. Starting out, Marcus, what do you want to see the Kings do tonight? Because there's a lot of options. They could trade. They could trade the pick. They might take someone other than Jaden Ivey because they don't want another point guard. They might just take Jaden Ivey and figure the rest out later.
I mean, I think as far as like the possible options go, I would love to see just like a marginal move down to like maybe like 6 or 7 if someone else is just like so in love with Jaden Ivey, who I do think is a great player, but sort of the Halliburton problem all over again if they bring him in, especially when like they've made it very clear like they're super committed to De'Aaron Fox, or maybe he's just unmovable and they would have rather moved him. But
yeah,
I just don't. I feel like I love Ivy as a player. I think we've sort of been down this road before, so I'd love a marginal move down. I kind of, as I've like been like sort of looking through the players, kind of like Keegan Murray on this team.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could be a really interesting fit. I think he would complement their pieces really well. So like, I don't know. I know the mocks I've seen have him going, in the 6-ish range. So if they could move down a couple picks, get like, maybe a second or 2 even to move down there, maybe like a late first. That's sort of the ideal outcome to me.
Yeah, I think they would be definitely able to get another first at least. I think Detroit would be willing to trade maybe a future protected first just to get Jaden Ivey.
Yeah,
maybe
even if they think that Sacramento's not going to take him.
Then maybe not. Maybe they decide to call.
Oh man,
but
so much game theory in all of this.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, if Sacramento's smart, they're kind of like reaching out to the Detroits of the world, going, "We have an offer for someone who wants Ivy. Are you willing to one up it?" But they're not smart, so they.
That's the thing. I mean, supposedly the Knicks want to trade up for Ivy, and that's what I want them to do. And it seems like the asking price is high. And what I've seen bandied about as what the Knicks offer could be is obviously the 11 pick, the Dallas pick next year, their own pick protected, probably like top 4 next year. And maybe even throw in like Quentin Grimes or something like that. I mean, that's a haul.
Yeah,
I would think Sacramento just should do that, and I'd be willing to do that as a Knicks fan.
What about like throwing in Julius Randle and then taking like a bad Sacramento contract?
Oh, please.
I mean, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't. Julius Randle obviously doesn't make sense in Sacramento, but if they're trying to, add pieces this year, the bad contract from Sacramento, that's probably another deal. Like, is it, you consider Fox a bad contract? So maybe the move is take Ivy, do some sort of Fox for Randall swap.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I think, people were talking about, but then Fox going, do you want Fox in New York?
I'd rather have him than Randall.
Well, yeah, okay, that's
fair.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like the upside for Sacramento there is Randall's contract isn't as long, I don't think.
It's not as long, and it's not bad.
Not bad.
It's fine for the production he delivers. He's just not an inspiring guy to have on your team at this point.
Randall and Sabonis sounds like an absolute shit show to me.
Oh God, yeah.
What a horrible offense.
Yeah, Randall has to try to be the, like, I mean, he doesn't clog the lane because he's not a post player. But he's not the shooter that Miles Turner is, and together defensively, like,
absolute night. I mean, they both are kind of like that, like mid-rangey big man who can't play.
Yeah, and Randall he has some playmaking ability. The problem is it's not good enough, and if he thinks he's got to be playmaking, he's slowing the pace down. It's really hard to find his place, and I don't think he's ready to be or wants to be a sixth man. But I would love to see that. For me, if the Knicks can't make the trade for Ivy, there is some talk about them trying to trade up to like 7 or 8. There are some people in the organization interested in Shaedon Sharpe.
He might not last. I wonder, because he's got so much upside. I wonder if someone takes him earlier than like 8. 7 maybe, but I mean, he's probably not going to go before. He's not going to go before Ivy, and he's probably not going to go before Keegan Murray.
Right.
But
he might go like 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he could go at that point. That's Indiana, right?
Right.
Like, I think Indiana wants Keegan Murray, but I don't know what Detroit's going to do.
Yeah. I think one of them might take Benedict Mathurin. He's supposed to be towards.
Yeah. So
it's going to be an interesting night. I mean, it's going to be interesting right off the bat because we don't know for sure what's going to happen with the 1 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if the Knicks were to trade down, the other option, because they don't really love the value of picks at 11, besides maybe I could talk myself into AJ Griffin, the shooter from Duke. There are some guards later in the draft and some other players later in the draft that have high upside, like Malachi Branham. He was the point guard at Ohio State. He was not supposed to be a one and done, but he improved like every month of the season. Wasn't even like a top 40 recruit, but he improved enough that he's like now in the draft and looks like he's going to continue improving. The Knicks supposedly interviewed him at the draft combine. So he's slated to go around 20. So a trade down for 20, possibly with the Rockets at 17. It's an interesting one.
What about Ty Ty?
Ty Ty, I really don't want them to take Ty Ty at 11, but I like Ty Ty at 17.
Yeah, I think he would be, if he's still there at 17.
Yeah, the classic Kentucky guard that flourishes after college.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks showed they like that. I think 2 years ago when they moved around their picks, and they've had a good history of doing that, of moving the picks around in a way that that allows them to take the right guy at the right spot and adding maybe a little bit of draft capital. They did that with Quickly. They moved down to 25. I think they were originally hoping they moved to 23 at first. They were hoping, I think, for Tyrese Maxey, the other Kentucky guard. He was taken before by Philadelphia. So once they saw that, they moved down a little bit and then took Quickly. So Ty Ty would definitely be in that fitting that pattern.
Yeah, it's too bad they couldn't get Maxey.
Yeah.
That was value pick.
Here we go, Mr. Silver.
Good evening. And welcome to the 2022 NBA Draft.
Okay, I'm definitely a little bit in front of you. So just like a few seconds.
NBA's New York Liberty. Speaking of the WNBA,
New York Liberty don't they play in Barclays?
That's news to me.
I thought they played in Madison.
I thought so too.
Title IX.
Maybe they moved recently.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So are you broadcasting from backstage at Barclays,
Yeah.
Larry?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So this is actually real life is behind where you are, or at least my like supposedly closed circuit connection.
Okay.
But it's a long circuit, so.
For NBA fans here in the arena and around the world, thank you for making this past.
Where did you see where the lines ended up today? Because the odds as far as the top picks and stuff were moving. I thought
They were. I didn't see where they ended up. I bet right now they're probably like even between Banchero and Jabari Smith.
A lot has changed in our country and world in the 3 years since the Warriors were last in the finals. But what has remained the same is the core of that Warriors team.
That's the one constant the world could look to.
Yeah.
in these
COVID.
dark days.
Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Andre Iguodala.
As they look to assemble their own championship rosters.
John, anybody you like later in the draft when Houston has those later picks?
I mean, I guess we'll see who's available because it could go all over the place. I kind of like Jalen Williams, and based on just people who might be around. And I don't know. I'm intrigued by Mark Williams as well.
Okay.
Just because, again, we've talked about like, if you're on a team with a whole bunch of really good players, you don't necessarily get to showcase everything. And I think he could be pretty awesome on the defensive end, and maybe even like an awesome dunker too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
supposedly
again, that depends though. If they get Chet, then whatever. I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah.
Chet will do all the dunking for everyone.
Even Sengun.
Exactly.
The young men who will hear their names called this evening have the chance to be among
Marcus,
the next generation of stars.
forgetting about like who should go at 4 outside of the top 3, who's your favorite player in the draft?
My favorite player?
Or who you think the best, like who you would take at number 4 without any optics?
Without any optics? I mean, I think I said last time we were doing this that I just wanted Johnny Davis because he's like from my alma mater and then playing my favorite team. But that's just like based not at all on like, I guess a little bit on fit and skill, but mostly just about my own personal enjoyment.
Yeah. You got to enjoy it. Otherwise, if you're not having fun, that's what I would say to all the GMs. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, you know, it's weird that, like, you know, in theory, all 30 GMs are trying to have fun, and yet only one of them has Frank Ntilikina on their team.
Now you're finally understanding. Yeah. I mean, I hate that Mark Cuban gets to have all the fun, and I don't.
Yeah.
But whatever. Only one can have the fun. Former first-round draft pick. You know, very interesting. You know, obviously they should have taken Donovan Mitchell at that spot. But even leading up to that draft, like the people who were highest on Mitchell still had him at best at number 10. So really the like choice for the number 8 pick then was between Frank, Dennis Smith Jr., and Malik Monk. I guess you'd have to say Malik Monk has had the best career so far, but not like great. Dennis Smith Jr. is out of the league. I don't think he's on a team right now. Frank might be still the best of those 3.
I would say Frank can, if he finds his right situation.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Yeah, which hopefully is Dallas. I mean, we'll see what their roster looks like because they're going to have Tim Hardaway Jr. back next season, so that'll push him down a little bit, but we'll see what they end up doing the rest of the offseason.
Love the French Revolution, though. Like, we've got a Frenchman in the top 10 this year. probably, with Jang. And then next year, the consensus number one is French.
I forget his name, but
Victor something
Mbaye or something. He's supposed to be like he's supposed to be an all, like the type of guy you tank for kind of guy. Speaking of like Mark Williams, the other center, the highest ranked center on a lot of boards is Jalen Duren, who I've seen mocked to the Knicks a lot. I don't want to take a center there, but it seems like also the Knicks are in talks to re-sign Mitchell Robinson and are getting close there. And if they do re-sign Mitchell Robinson, I can't imagine them taking a center at 11.
No.
All of a sudden, Oklahoma City, do they have a choice to make between
Unless they're gonna go dual big.
Yeah. I'm sure Tibbs would be into that.
Yeah, his lineup of 5 centers and playing point guard or something.
Yeah. That he needs Banchero though to be the point guard.
All year that there were 3 guys worthy of it, and those 3 guys are all worthy of it.
Well, guess what, Jay? We get to find out now.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go to Commissioner Adam Silver to find out who the Orlando Magic select.
With the first pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Paolo Banchero, Duke University.
All right.
Check.
That's true. As Jay Billis was just saying, like maybe OKC really likes Jabari, but thought he was going to be gone.
I doubt it. I think OKC is taking Chet.
They seem like a Chet team all the way.
Oh God.
He's a very like OKC-ish player.
Yeah, it really does. I think Poku, just because of Poku, everybody thinks that's their type.
Wow. So they went ahead and did it. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we still haven't heard anything, but it's still possible Houston does a trade.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, they must have. I don't know what it is, but Orlando must have been impressed or changed their mind at the last minute.
Maybe the best combination of size at 6'10", 255 pounds.
Man, if he starts playing defense,
yeah,
he's gonna be awesome.
He was the best player.
So,
yeah.
NBA players in the starting
him and Franz.
Jesus. Yeah. Man, Orlando could be really fun to watch next year.
Yeah. All of a sudden, not a dumpster fire in Orlando.
Yeah. And I haven't given up on Markelle Fultz. I would like to see him succeed. And he was doing well before the torn ACL.
Really well last year before the ACL.
Yeah. And so when he came back, he was a little slow last season when he came back. But I think it'll be interesting to see. Definitely rooting for the guy. Wow.
Yeah, me too.
They could still Paolo's suit too. This thing is nuts.
Yeah, it's very Prince inspired.
Yes.
I saw Chet is wearing a chain with dice on them, a pair of dice in diamond, and I saw that. Of course, I think you should League Pass Twitter account showed that with a screenshot of the woman in the office looked like giving the side eye to the guy who carries dice in his pocket.
Since 2010. Now that you're here, how does it
Oh.
Say I can't believe what just happened. Honestly, I never would have thought that this would happen.
He's like, shit. I thought I was going to Houston.
Now I have to live in O-Town.
So this is unbelievable, and
Oh, remember that Zach Levine thing when he got drafted to Minnesota?
Because we have a little surprise from someone.
What happened there? What happened
the thing
with?
where he like yelled "fuck" when he got drafted to Minnesota.
And the commitment you've made. You
Wow.
are,
I
the most versatile
don't remember
player in
that,
the
but
draft.
I like it.
Pretty sure it was Zach Levine.
And you're a winner.
I mean,
You're going to help tremendously.
certainly
and
makes
have an
sense.
Terrific NBA career.
You joined
Zach
the
Levine
legacy of
is an
players
unrestricted
drafted
free
into
agent
the league, and
with
that's
the
a place
Bulls.
for a legend.
Yeah.
But supposedly Portland is interested. I don't know if they still have the room.
Did you
after-
see that? I saw the Jeremy Grant thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
just being away from home.
Were you surprised in what the return was, or just that they did that?
I was kind of surprised they did it. I mean, Jeremy Grant is a great player, and he's good defense. Like he can obviously, he's shown he can score empty buckets. But like, I don't know. He's not all they need. So, but maybe he's the step in the right direction. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
If you could have, like, building around Dame, if you could have traded like McCollum straight up for Jeremy Grant, I kind of feel like it's a better complementary piece.
They kind of did trade McCollum for Dame, for Grant, because I think they traded they traded a pick from a future pick of Milwaukee's, which I think they got from New Orleans, which New Orleans previously had from the Drew Holiday trade. So yeah, they kind of basically did McCollum for Grant. Grant playing the role he did in Denver is a good player, of course.
I thought he didn't want to play that role though. That's why he
I know.
left.
Yeah.
But now Detroit doesn't want him.
I mean,
Detroit should trade him for.
Oh,
Should
yeah,
be
he
an
was the right
asset
move for
collection.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It also takes. It does two things. Also, Portland was one of the possible destinations I thought for a Julius Randle trade, and that might take that off the board. And for Detroit, opens up a ton of cap space. They're supposedly going to go after, maybe sign DeAndre Ayton to a max.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
With the second pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga University.
Sorry, John.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Jabari is a great consolation prize, and I think he's going to be awesome on the Rockets.
Yeah, I think that's still a fun offense. Him and Jalen Green. And some people think Jabari is number one. Orlando did until this afternoon.
Oh yeah, and I just hate when anything good happens for Oklahoma City because I feel like they don't deserve it.
After they moved from Seattle.
Well, they moved to Seattle, but they also dismantled, a successful young core over $5 million.
Right. When because they chose to be in a smaller market.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just like, whatever. If they're perpetually rebuilding, I enjoy that. Like when they're like, oh no, we're gonna win in 5 years. Just look at the plan.
Yeah. They're probably not gonna make the playoffs next year, but like they're gonna be good at something.
They're gonna be good now at some point.
They've got some good they've done if you're going to rebuild, you want to do it the way OKC has done it. I mean, SGA, Giddey, and now Chet. I gotta love that team.
Well,
you think they'll ever play Chet and Paul and Poku together?
Poku together? I hope so.
Yeah.
But Giddey was like, that was an awesome pick.
Yeah.
Right. SGA was like, I guess I don't know whether they would have made the deal without SGA with the Clippers. Chet, this is like an obvious pick. But props to them for picking Giddey. Like Giddey was a good pick. This is an obvious one, I think, but yeah, good for them.
Yeah, they've also got the 12 pick this year, and maybe like 5 others. I don't know, but I know they have 12. I love, yeah, Chet constantly gets compared to Kristaps Porzingis.
When you put him in the pick and roll, he can mix it up. Pop to the three.
Yeah.
He shoot lights out.
God. All right. Well, there's not much suspense right now for the next pick, but
much suspense at number 4, of course.
Do not let the body frame fool you. He's mean, he's aggressive, and he's about that life.
Absolutely. And you can see him shaking hands there with Commissioner Adam Silver.
It would have been funny though if Chet had ended up in Orlando,
And look at
like with Suggs, and then they take like Timmy next year or whatever and just rebuild the Gonzaga college team in Orlando.
Yeah.
That would be a Gonzaga East.
If they took Chet with
If they had taken Chet and then like held out for Timmy next year, they could have gotten the whole gang back together.
Mm-hmm. They could take Nemhart in the second round. Yeah.
Man. Oh, it's gonna be Summer League is gonna be really good this year. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get out of the way. They do a big.
Isn't it like Houston Orlando? Like, isn't that the first game? I think it is.
Is it? They just
something like that.
I mean, that makes sense, but also they could have scheduled that a year ago, knowing that those two would be. Yeah, I think they did something like that this past year. I think they might have done Detroit Houston as one of the first games because it was Cade versus Jalen Green. John Wall opted in.
No, that was a shocker. He tested the market. He had his agent call around.
Yeah.
And Houston's going to get a number 1 caliber pick if they decide.
Yeah.
Smith Jr.
They're not going to play him though. They're gonna buy him out.
Right.
Because no one's gonna take a trade for him.
No. Yeah. Maybe they could deal. Maybe they could like agree to like a $40 million buyout or something.
Yeah.
What's
There
that?
was actually an article on ESPN today about Tillman Fertitta and the team and how committed they are to the rebuild. It was good.
Oh yeah.
I actually like Tillman Fertitta like better now than I did before that. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Gotta like when an owner actually isn't like just a jackass like the Kings owner. Like we could make the playoffs next year.
We'll do the like full court press or do the have one guy down at the other end and cherry pick him. He's at least interesting though. I'll give him that. Like,
yeah, it's true. He's not just like one of these guys you never hear about, but it's just those weird stories about like people having like pay for equipment and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not Robert Sarver
Yeah.
or something like that. So yeah. And I blame Vlade for a lot of stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like I don't know. Like I feel like that's sort of the thing. It's like if it's gonna be like an absolute shit show, like you may as well do fun stuff. Just be like, oh, what about we just get all the players from when the team was good to run it?
Is Max Christie, who's supposed to be drafted? He's from Michigan State. Is he Doug Christie's son?
I don't know.
Because if so, they should take him at number 4.
Man, Doug Christie was a gamer.
Yeah,
I like that guy. He would mix it up.
Yeah, I feel like he was like a 3-and-D guy before people were saying 3-and-D, basically.
With the 3rd pick in the 2022 draft, the Houston Rockets select Jabari Smith Jr. from Auburn University.
All right. Already had some good shakeup with the number 1 pick.
Now I've talked myself in already. Now,
yeah.
Jabari was number 1 on my board for a while. I'm back. He's gonna tighten the defense. Guy can shoot from anywhere, unblockable, overhead. I'm psyched. I'm ready.
What? Do you think he averages over 20 points per game?
Not next year, but eventually. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well, his dad was a king. We should have gotten him.
across his chest. You can see it right there. But he actually used to go to the secret in high school before the doors were even open. He'd text his janitor and say, "Can you let me in?" He'd have 4 peanut butter and jelly.
Wait, Kwame Brown is his cousin? Oh, wait, sorry, I'm ahead of you.
He'd eat them then. He's the highest drafted Auburn player in the common draft era. This is just a wonderful moment. You can see the
You're
hand
very
right
ahead of
there.
me.
Jay.
Yeah, I'm always ahead of you.
Well, his shooting mechanics are impeccable. He can shoot it with a high release off the catch or the dribble. He's got a mid-range pull-up. Shoots 42% from three.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, that's you got some building blocks there.
Oh, yeah.
Christian Wood's gone, which I think needed to happen, and you got another pick for it. You're gonna get at least one more good player tonight. So you'll have, let's say you just take one in the first round. So that player, you'll have Şengün, Jabari, Jalen Green, and I guess still Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter Jr., Christopher. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
we'll
Christopher.
See. We'll see. Like I'm not a Porter Jr. guy necessarily.
I don't think he's I don't think he's like in the long-term plans for Houston.
But he does have he has skills. He has skills, but then I'm just not 100% on him. We'll see.
Yeah.
But he's the type of guy with his pedigree that if he did become great, it wouldn't be shocking. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. So how you feeling with the number 4 pick, Marcus? Or what do you think's going to happen with the number 4 pick? Did you see something?
No, I haven't seen. No, there's nothing. The Kings pick is in, but they haven't announced it yet. I won't reveal anything. I didn't reveal anything when Chet got taken.
No, you
or
did
even
not.
or when Banchero got taken.
If I had to guess what's going to happen, I feel like this front office at this point feels like the type of guys who would just take Ivy and be like, we'll figure it out. I think that's sort of where they're at.
Yeah, and that would be a good sign. I mean, they got to. Even if they don't want him, just for the trade possible.
Sacramento Kings, they're focused on Iowa's Keegan Murray here.
What?
There's a lot of expectation that this is a spot where Jaden Ivey would go in this draft, and now the possibility of Ivy dropping down to number 5 to the Detroit Pistons. There were
Whoa. We'll see. Again, I haven't seen anything yet, but that's, and I'm not getting the audio on my end, so I'm just hearing this audio for the first time. Wow.
Suddenly,
I don't know.
Perhaps has the opportunity to select Jaden.
I mean, I don't know, Marcus. I don't think Keegan is a building block in that same way, man.
Look, I like Keegan, and I think he's a building block, but he's, I think you could have made a trade for number 5.
It's not a good value there.
No.
Like I said, I like the way he fits with what they have, but I wish, if that's what they did, I wish they had traded that.
Yeah, even for like 2 future seconds, Detroit would have done that.
Something to just keep building assets if that's really what you want to do.
What do you like about him?
I mean, I do like Keegan Murray. He took over some games in the Big Ten tournament.
I know he was great in the Big Ten tournament, but
averaging about 7-8 points a game, averaging 20.
Okay, so.
And I think he's the most efficient player.
I mean, we'll see if it actually happens. I mean, that would be a starting lineup of Fox. Yes, so Sacramento's still dicking around.
Yeah.
Fox, Buddy Hield. Oh, Davion Mitchell, Buddy Hield, Keegan Murray, Sabonis. Let's go.
With the 4th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Keegan Murray from Iowa.
Oh man!
All right, let's go. Knicks, call up Detroit. Make the trade.
Get this done right now, Knicks.
Send them Julius Randle as the replacement for Jeremy Grant, right? You'll still have room to make to sign.
Is Keegan Murray going to be the oldest player on the Kings too? He's going to be 22 when the season starts.
It's just like, why? You know how many teams wanted Jaden Ivey?
I know.
even like what you were talking about trading down to 11, I'm like, well, there's some players I like between 4 and 11, but it still makes more sense than just drafting him here.
Even if Keegan Murray ends up being a better player than Jaden Ivey, which is definitely possible, it's just that you could have gotten something from Detroit to trade down to 5.
No.
Because Detroit was supposedly interested.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is just crazy.
This is nuts.
He's NBA ready right now.
Oh,
Basketball IQ is tremendous.
I mean,
He's got a great feel. He makes really good reads.
it's not like there are like just in terms of sort of like the type of player he is, where he's at. Like, you know, people were saying similar things about Halliburton in terms of like, you know, NBA ready and ceiling and all of that stuff. So I'm trying to talk myself into it.
Let's go. Let's hear it. Let's
do it. Yeah.
Seeming ambidextrous, and he shoots 40% from 3. So
Yeah.
he's a shooter.
I really wanted the Pistons to be, you know, the Iowa Hawkeyes NBA team with Garza and Murray. Alas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
in the flexes on the defensive side, turning it into
it's
transition.
just bad process. Whether it's a good pick or not, it's bad.
Oh, geez.
And he's got great hands. He catches everything. You mentioned the deflections he gets. He may not be the most dynamic guy staying in
All
front
right,
of
I'll
you.
be back in 1 sec. I'm gonna go grab something to drink.
You're gonna go throw up.
He's got everything.
Oh,
He's just
dear.
not this spectacular athlete that's going to jump off the page, but when
He'll,
you look at the page at the end of the game,
He's a bucket.
in every
He's a
important
bucket.
category.
Do you like the way that he fits with this group?
I do.
Jeez Louise.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I can't
god.
believe that.
I mean, what happened? Like, they got Monty Morris as their... No, that's not his name. Monty Morris is the player for the Denver Nuggets. Somebody is their GM, who came from the Daryl Morey school, or Daryl Morey front office tree. So, you know, you'd think...
Which is crazy, because Daryl didn't even, like... Daryl would never, ever sacrifice any value.
Right.
If you will.
No.
Right.
I mean,
Maybe Vivek is just like, Keegan?
All right, let's go to Detroit.
Keegan?
They are currently
We're getting Keegan?
Kate Cunningham,
I
obviously.
wonder if it was something where like
Detroit.
the owner has freaked out the front office to the point where they're like, who has the best chance of like contributing in a way that helps us make like the play-in next year? It might be him.
It's
Like, I
very
wonder if
possible.
They're just operating from a place of fear and like, who's the most NBA ready?
That could be.
Team this last season, but
It's a good way to
Yeah, that's
operate.
not a bad... That's not... Yeah,
for their head coach, Dwayne Casey.
that could be it.
Second most.
Because after the top 3, I think Keegan is probably the most NBA ready.
Yeah.
After the trade, so might we see them add
Without overlap.
Halliburton?
Because obviously Jaden Ivey is really good too, but not for Sacramento necessarily.
No.
Wow.
Out to me is Ivy, right?
How?
You see him pairing up alongside Cade Cunningham. The great thing about Cade is that
I think Jaden Ivey, I think, is a great... Like, I'd be ecstatic if I'm a Detroit fan right now.
Oh, no kidding.
Last year he was very, very high on Jalen Green, right? He loved
Yeah.
Plus all the cap space they now have to maybe, if they add DeAndre Ayton to that mix, that's a fun team.
Version of Jalen Green and Ivy.
Well, obviously we saw as
Yeah, that is really good potentially.
Jeremy Grant for the Detroit Pistons. He's on his way to the Portland Trailblazers. So there's a little bit of
Oh man. We'll see.
To the Pistons,
go along with their young core perk.
Yeah.
including a sign and trade of...
DeAndre Ayton, right? Another man's
or
trash.
Perkins is talking about. I'm thinking of a sign and trade for Mitchell Robinson, plus the 11 pick, plus something for number 5. Let's go.
We're talking about a guy that is everything that you
I feel like Detroit would be asking for more than
Yeah.
Sacramento would have been asking for this pick, because I think
The
Now
fact
they
that it's
see them
number
get
5
Ivy.
doesn't change it. Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
23 years of age. So he's still young that you could put him in right with the young core that you already have.
But if they do end up going with Jaden Ivey with this pick, why does he fit for an NBA ready team that's hoping to crack that drought for them?
I mean, if you're going with best
Oof.
I think this is the best player.
Man.
And I don't think there's much question about it. You know, Jaden Ivey's the best athlete in this draft.
Right.
I mean, he's the best athlete in this draft. You mentioned Troy Weaver like Jalen Green's athleticism. If he likes athleticism, Jaden Ivey's got it.
I think that might make a little bit of sense in Detroit. Detroit.
Oops.
I can't hear your audio anymore.
I
Brian.
know.
But
Let me know if you see the pick come in.
Well, I've seen the pick on my end.
Okay. Is it Jaden Ivey?
It is Jaden Ivey.
Wow.
He seems very happy about it. Oh, wait. Is it Marcus? Is it the whole thing where he said he didn't want to go to Sacramento too? Do you think that's a factor?
it may very well be.
Oh, man. If so, I feel like a lot of players are going to start following that lead and just say it seems they don't want to go to.
I would never do that if I was a team. It's like, what is he going to do? Not play for 4 years? I guess players have done it in the past, a la like John Elway and others.
Eli Manning.
Yeah.
But not
Bo
very
Jackson.
often. And also, like, I feel like those guys had like more like, you know, Eli Manning is like football royalty. John Elway, like, fuck it, I'll just like play for the Yankees if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's Jaden Ivey is not necessarily that guy.
Jaden Ivey, the guy who lost to St. Peter's.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament, that guy.
And sucked in that game. Whatever. Jaden Ivey sucks. I'm so glad we didn't trade for him.
Ivy, she went to University of Notre Dame. Won a national.
Man, so what is going to happen now?
Okay, so who's up sixth?
This is Indiana.
Okay. Wow.
He was with the Indiana Fever.
I think it's
So this is Rick Carlisle building his like whatever monster that he wants to build.
I think it's Matherin. It's probably Matherin or Shaden Sharp.
No,
could be Dyson Daniels maybe too. I don't know.
On stage on draft night, knowing that she'll be there on the big night. That's gonna be amazing.
Does his mom coach at Purdue?
She had Jaden. She would take a frame photo of
Jaden Ivey?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. So many of these players, their parents get coaching jobs, and no one talks about it.
That's true. Like Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson.
Like Rick Brunson did. Michael Porter Jr.'s dad got hired at Missouri. Like, how did Missouri get one of the top guys in the ESPN rankings? Oh, yeah. Dad's coaching there now.
I'm even saying this, just seeing
Yeah,
this.
they just happened to decide to pay his dad 6 figures with the same guy. He started working.
Superstar athlete, and you're about to go crazy.
Oh, God.
That you're really about to take over this league. So I love you.
So, yeah, I wonder if Matherin will be the guy. I don't know.
I feel like he's very. Well, speaking of Indiana, they may very well want to. They're trying to trade Brogdon, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know how much
I feel like
value
Matherin.
Brogdon has.
They could play him, but he's sort of redundant with Chris Duarte.
And I'm just so happy.
Man.
Gonna lie, I thought you would be the one crying. You are stoic, but as you look at your baby achieve his dreams and know how much of an impact you had in the example that you set, what's this like for you?
I'm speechless almost. You know, like this is his dream come true. You know, to be in Detroit, we have so many amazing roots in Detroit. To be able for him to, you know, be able to walk on that stage, and I'm just so joyful. I'm so happy for him. So I'm just
Man, real tears from Ivy.
Yeah,
so, like
there are definitely some fake tears on draft night because it's gotten to the point where like all the picks think they're supposed to cry in the moment. It's like like prepped to do, but these look legit.
He feels, it seems legit. I'm rooting for him, man. The Pistons might just be, they might be good.
Yeah,
not next year, but like,
yeah. And I'm sure they'll have a good pick next year. as well.
Rebound for Skylar Diggins-Smith as a young boy. Showed off his moves for Kayla McBride. He was raised on women's basketball.
There's a whole generation of
Okay.
players.
Pacers.
That is so.
So none of us
Make
got
it
what we
happen.
wanted tonight.
For Coach Niel, but also for Jay.
One of us what?
None of us got what we wanted tonight.
I did. I got what I wanted a while back.
Yeah, that's right.
So I feel like, what past me wanted.
Yeah.
He's shades of John Moran in the open court. He can dunk. He's working on his mid-range. He's a layup.
Okay. And right now, the pick is in for the Pacers. Let's just go to the commissioner. This is moving fast.
With the 6th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Benedict Mathurin from Montreal.
Probably the right pick.
Yeah.
And the University of
Oh, he's Canadian. Montreal.
Pac-12 Player of the Year. Highest drafted player ever from the city of Montreal. And you see
Okay.
Big day from Montreal.
No one in Montreal even knows about this.
Was also combined with an unbelievable loss.
Oh, so a little bit of France gets half credit on this one then.
Yes, yes.
To this moment in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Big day for the separatists in Quebec.
All right, so who's Portland taking?
This is an interesting one because supposedly Portland's under the same kind of pressure to do right by Dame, whether that's I don't think they want to trade him or he wants to be traded yet, and they want to make the playoffs. They've just got Jeremy Grant, which is more of a win now versus future looking move. So I could totally see a trade here.
Yeah. Something more, because I feel like the best guys right here are more developmental pieces.
His dream was always to play in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Like
most-
Shaden Sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels still needs to develop something.
Dieng,
yeah.
Yeah. Would Dyson Daniels, I don't know enough about him, would he fit with Dame?
I think he would because he's considered a. It's not quite clear if he's going to be a point guard or a wing because he's like a big guard with good handle or can defend. Maybe has a shot but not great ball handling skills yet. I think that's the deal with him. So he probably fit really well to Dame.
Okay.
Achieve his dreams. Don't cry on me. How proud are you of this moment?
I'm extremely proud.
Give your sister a hug, boy. This is an incredible moment for you guys. Mom, congratulations. Sister Jen, Benedict, congratulations. Really quickly, what are the Pacers getting from you?
My heart, man. They get everything from me. From the jump to the end. And they get everything.
Congratulations, Benedict. Back to you, Kevin.
Monica, this is what it's all about. The journey to Brooklyn continues at the 2022 NBA Draft.
Journey to Brooklyn.
Continues after this.
This kid is sensational.
Trying to think what's a trade package I would put together for the number 7 pick to get, say, Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, I feel like if they won't take Shaden, then you can put it together for
number 8.
Number
That's
8.
true.
Oh man, if Shaden ends up in New Orleans and they don't have to play him right away and can develop him like they've developed some of this other talent, woo,
Yeah, it's a good spot.
that would be, yeah, Jesus. It just doesn't, yeah, New Orleans, I don't know. It's not a basketball city, and I don't know.
Yeah, they're such an interesting team.
Yeah.
Could either be on the precipice of being like a real contender. I mean, maybe not next year, but like, all depending on what happens with Zion.
Yeah. Really interesting team. Dang.
They still don't have like a true point guard. Because McCollum was kind of their point guard in a way towards the end last year. Point Zion, of course. Point Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's so good in the playoffs. Yeah, so the next few guys, it's Sharp, Yang, Dyson Daniels, AJ Griffin. He's not going to go next, but in there.
Johnny Davis is in there.
Oh yeah, Johnny Davis. Maybe Johnny Davis falls to 11. I'd be okay with that.
Oh man. Would you become a Knicks fan then, Marcus?
Definitely follow them more closely.
I'd keep my eye on them.
We don't know. Numbers aren't in. Spectrum Mobile. Unlimited and nationwide 5G for just $29.99. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store near you today.
This is the guy with the sea turtles. Cleaning up the beach for them turtles.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X Pro. Kia. Movement that inspires.
NBA Draft 2022 is presented by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Beautiful night here inside the Barclays Center outside Brooklyn. The 6 picks are in as we continue the 2022 NBA Draft right here on ABC. We tell the family journey, the story of the
I see a tweet from Ian Begley. He's a Knicks beat reporter, a very reliable one. He says, opposing teams say New York Knicks remain active in trying to make a trade to obtain Jaden Ivey, who was drafted by Detroit.
Good luck.
Good luck.
With the 7th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Shaedon Sharpe.
Ooh.
So, not necessarily we have to make the playoffs this year type of pick.
Exactly, which means it might be traded.
Or maybe Dame's getting traded.
I mean, that's what they should do.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to do that because they wouldn't have gotten Grant if they were going to do that.
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe they're like, we know what Grant wants, which is to shoot a million times on a shitty team, and we will be.
Yeah, this was part of the promise to Grant, is that you start tanking so I could be the best player on the team. Shaedon Sharpe's Canadian too?
Man, this Canadian national team is going to be epic.
Mm-hmm. Now with Wiggins being a
Wiggins is a made man now. Steve Nash will probably dust off his sneakers to get back into it. So guys, I'll be player coach. Let's do this.
Mystery began to grow. What to make of the guard with nearly a 7-foot wingspan.
Man.
One of these high school courts he was playing on.
$1 million as he's now a Portland Trailblazer. 4th Canadian-born 19-year-old selected in the top 10, first since R.J. Barrett back with the Knicks in 2019. Let's go to Monica McNutt right now.
Pair with R.J. Dyson Daniels would be nice on New Orleans.
Yeah.
They kind of need a primary ball handler. And they've got enough
Yeah, and someone who can defend.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, you haven't seen me for a year, but, you know, I can't wait to get started, and it's going to be a ride for real.
All right, Dad Robert, maybe you can let us in on the mystery just a little bit. When did you realize that your son had the potential to be here and realize this dream?
Oh, from a young age, he had it all. He had the determination. Through God's blessing and grace and faith, you know, he accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish.
Yesterday, when I asked you about the quote of you saying that you wanted to be the greatest basketball player ever, you talked to me a little bit about confidence. Now you start at the bottom of the totem pole. Where's your confidence as you start this journey?
My confidence is still, you know, at the highest right now. I mean, I'm coming into the league as a young kid. And I just want to show everybody like what I can do for real. So.
Well, you're going to have that opportunity. Shaden and the Sharp family, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Back to you, Kevin.
Monica, thank you. He turned 19 just 24 days ago.
I mean, this is it's possible Portland got the best player in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah, he could really be the steal of the draft considering the limited evaluation, but my goodness, if you look at his mixtape, that thing goes crazy. One-on-one isolation scorer. He's an athlete. He can dunk. He can knock it down from three. So he is someone that we can look back and be like, wow, he could have gone higher, but circumstances changed that.
Today, it felt like you just described the guy that's joining us on the set right now. That is the #1 pick overall. No mystery. Well, you know, it was a mystery for a lot of people, including Paolo yourself.
That's so awkward. They're talking about how great some other guy who might be the best player. They're saying he might be the best player in the draft, and Paulo's on set with them.
Told me, be ready for anything. He wasn't sure about anything, but he just told me be ready. And then probably like 20, 30 seconds.
I can't get over his suit. It totally looks like one of those things you wear when you're on the green screen or whatever. To
yeah, it's because it's got the little like
the little light bulb
sensors. Yeah.
On the floor. One of the reasons why you went #1 is the things you're going to bring off the floor and in the locker room. Talk about that side of what you plan on bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, I'm a great leader, and I don't force it upon anybody. I'm just a guy who's going to get along with all the guys in the locker room, but also have a competitive mindset and bring a winning attitude, bring a fierce competitive mindset, but also, work with my teammates and pick their brains and, just try and be the best leader I can be.
You watch the league, you've seen what this is all about, and you knew what you were entering into. What do you expect of yourself your first year in the National Basketball Association?
God, Stephen A.
Great year. I expect to, come out and show what I can do. It's going to be ups and downs. It ain't always going to be pretty. But, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do what I do. And so, I'm confident in that, and I'm ready to, get out there.
Expect him to also have the fits as well.
Oh, the here is indeed. My goodness, he certainly brought it. Paolo, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Big fella.
Unforgettable night for you as well. Unforgettable night, of course, for 58 families and Paolo's family celebrating as they are going to Orlando. The pick is in. The Pelicans picking #8 overall. Let's go to the Commissioner Adam Silver on the stage.
With the 8th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Dyson Daniels, Bendigo, Australia, the NBA Global Academy in Australia, and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
Good pick.
Good pick. Repping the G League. I like it.
So New Orleans has Daniels, McCollum, Ingram, Zion, Valanciunas. Also got
Alvarado.
What's the other guy's name? The guard who is like all-team defense.
Oh, wasn't that? Wait.
Not Alvarado.
The one who was like the second round pick.
Yeah, the one who made Bill Simmons say "fuck Jalen Green."
Oh yeah. No, wait, Alvarado was the second round pick, right?
Alvarado might have been like a undrafted guy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I would know his name if I saw him. I'll look him up.
So him, that guy. Akil Alexander Walker still around.
Let's look. And
whatever.
See
that starting lineup's good. They've got a good team.
So.
Choosing basketball, football because I loved them both so much.
Okay, so Alvarado.
Yeah, we've made the right choice in the end.
Dyson, we're joined by your dad, Ricky, and your mom, Brakita. All right.
Oh, Herbert Jones. Herb Jones.
Herb Jones.
It is the end of the start.
Yeah, I think Herb Jones was late. Alvarado, I think, was like a second round or not drafted.
Yeah.
Very happy
You know, I heard that my name called, and to be a Pelican, man, there's no better place.
No better place.
To get to work, and yeah, like this is crazy for real.
I almost feel like at this point, you could say for every team except the Sacramento Kings, they might have gotten the best player in the
draft. That's the best analysis so far.
Brutal.
I know he'll give it 100%.
Oh, now of course the Spurs. Anyone they pick, they can develop.
Right. Think they're gonna take Jiang?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a contact sport, a physical sport, and I think that helps me on the basketball court, my physicality.
Again, and that's someone who could become the best player in the draft.
Right. Maybe they take Jalen Duren. They could use the center. It's a little high for him.
Man, to be in this position today, it's just...
Yeah, I'm not so sure about him. I mean, that whole Memphis thing is just so weird.
Yeah.
This year. But again, it's not his fault. It was a weird situation.
State standout Australian rules footballer, growing up down under. You know what I find fascinating about him? He said he models his game around Alex Caruso's defense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, we talk about Ozzy.
The NBA is going to change when all these players who've modeled their game after Alex Caruso start coming up.
And if you think about what he did in the G League, I mean, he has good size. He had average.
Oh yeah, you know that kids all over the country now are swatting away past yelling Caruso.
Yeah, and Mark Jackson is like, with all due respect, I think Alex Caruso is ruining the game of basketball.
And he says, "Mama, there goes that man."
It's the Pelicans. I love what they continue to do with their roster. Adding him, he's a tall point guard. He can guard multiple positions, but he also going to be a facilitator. When you bring back a guy like Zion Williamson, you already have Brandon Ingram, who's a big-time scorer. He's a facilitator.
No trades yet.
No.
Multiple players get drafted today. I love this for the Pelicans.
I mean, I like him a lot. But I looked at the Pelicans this season, and particularly...
Yeah, I'd be so annoyed trying to do a broadcast with Stephen A. Smith. And you're saying stuff to him, and then he goes, ah!
He's like trained to take the other side, no matter what just was said. He's like, I gotta make good TV.
Yeah.
What if you said to him, you know, Skip Bayless is probably better than you at this. Or no, you're better than Skip Bayless. I guess you would have to say it. So, Skip Bayless is pretty good.
You'd have to craft him into shitting on himself.
Yeah. Like, come on.
We get that. We ain't questioning Willie Green. I'm just simply saying, when you come in and you getting drafted, I'm looking at your skill set now. And all I'm saying is, I want you to be able to shoot. Now again,
Yeah, don't look to the future when you're drafting. That's what you can do now.
The thing you got to also do in the West is defend, and that's something he's going to be able to do at his position.
But listen, the wild card is Zion Williamson. Regardless, we're talking about the Pelicans.
Man, I think the Pelicans are going to be good. I hate it. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but just like, I don't know. And they're going to keep getting better because they'll keep getting Lakers picks every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
On a job that David Griffin and Willie Green have done. You mentioned the G League, by the way. Daniel's third player drafted in the top 10 from the G League Ignite.
Yeah, I mean, if things really start to get together for the Pelicans, they have the asset chest to pull off like a move for another star. I don't know who that would be, but yeah.
Taken in the first round. I hear that the pick is in by the San Antonio Spurs. We will get to them, of course, because one of the
We'll get to that later.
heard recently, especially
No, you're not here to see picks.
Yeah.
You're here to listen to us talk.
That story continues. Oh, and we're not going to sleep on Kyrie Irving and what we're hearing about him.
Oh, can we?
When he does play, we'll get to that. And
Stephen A. Smith is rolling his eyes at Kyrie Irving.
Oh my goodness. Let me put my seatbelt on.
Yeah, next year's a swap for the Rockets with the Nets.
Yeah. So you want to see it really go off the rails.
Yeah, but I feel like there's
It's
no
probably
chance
not. They're
gonna
probably not
finish
going to be
first.
swapping next year.
The swap one is like,
I agree with Stephen A. on that. Bing Bong. Bing Bong is whack. Yeah, when the Knicks traded Marcus Morris a couple years ago to the Pickers for like their late first rounder, they also got the Clippers to throw in a swap for the next year, which is just hilarious because like the Knicks were like the worst teams in the NBA. But then that year was the one where the Knicks made the playoffs as the 4th seed, where like it still didn't happen. The Clippers were still better and they didn't swap, but it came closer than anybody would have thought.
man, Spurs pick.
Let's go to the commissioner.
2022 NBA Draft. The San Antonio Spurs select Jeremy Sohan.
That is very Spursy to take him at 9 when you know, like taking Primo at 12 or whatever a year ago.
Second Baylor freshman ever drafted. And the first Baylor freshman drafted in the first round of the common draft era. We're talking about a young man
freshman.
who brings the flair.
Yeah.
And
wow.
See it with the fits and the hair.
It's a nice suit. That's a nice lavender suit.
Time he's out on the floor, I get flashbacks of Dennis Rodman in the 90s. What's going to be the hair color? And he likes doing that.
I mean, it could use like 8 million things dangling off it, but
yeah, it's no Paulo Banchero, but in terms of pieces of flair.
We learned that being yourself is always good enough.
The Spurs have so many players, just gotta love. They're like,
yeah, they do.
Tantalizing.
American. I was born in Oklahoma, in the middle of nowhere. I left when I was 2, lived in England most of my life, played in Germany, played in Poland, all over Europe.
So the Wizards are on the clock.
A lot of food from back home.
Okay, so I'm liking who might be falling to 11. Sohan is the guy who jumped to make that happen.
So still on the board
Johnny
then.
Davis. Yeah, name them off.
Jang or whatever, and Davis. So one of those two is going to be,
yeah,
and then Duran, obviously. One of those two, though, is going to be available for the Knicks.
Show people that you know you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Be confident with yourself.
I think they should take.
Sohan is joined by his mom, Annetta. Sohan, you walked over and said,
I like the idea of Johnny Davis.
why is it crazy?
But Jang might even be better.
More upside. I don't know.
I'm so happy, and it's just such a blessing. You know, I have no words.
Well, a big part of you getting here is your
The
experience.
Wizards.
How has that prepared you for your NBA career?
What do you think the Wizards take?
No clue what they're going to do. I don't even know. I have no idea what their plan is. Obviously, they're going to sign Bradley Beal, give him $250 million, and then he's going to demand a trade. That's what like everyone thinks is going to happen.
By the way, Monica,
Bradley Beal must have the best PR people in the world.
I know, right?
He's been talked about for years as a trade target, as though he's like a superstar to be traded, and it never, first of all, never happens, and he's just not a superstar. But good for him, and he's probably going to net the Wizards a good, if they do trade him, and they should trade him. He'll net them some haul of picks.
I don't get it.
Yeah, no idea what they're gonna do.
Maybe this will help.
Jiang is do you have his measurements?
Yeah, he's a monster. Hold on. He's where is he? He's height is 6'10".
Chevrolet.
So okay, he's not huge, but yeah,
He's 10, and he's
pretty good though.
Yeah, and he's a wing, right? Not a center.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Ringer mock draft, and they have him listed as a forward. So like,
okay,
in there, definitely not a big. But he's also not that thick yet. So I don't know.
Right.
He's like a skinny 6'10" right now. 200 pounds.
Did he play for G League Ignite?
No, he's the one that plays for New Zealand.
Ah.
And well, he played for whatever Australian league, whatever plays in New Zealand.
Right. It's his comps are Brandon Ingram, Prime, Chandler Parsons, Evan Turner.
So wait, was Prime Chandler Parsons the one that Damian Lillard beat to eliminate the Rockets? And that was Prime Chandler Parsons.
Yeah. Yeah. Skills are ball handling and playmaking. Oh, at his height? That sounds good.
I mean, 6'10", if you can handle, that's like...
Yeah, that's like
pretty awesome.
Dream.
I want to keep it real and talk about some risk.
Generate space for pull-up jumpers. I was not.
Apparently, he can't.
I was
score.
not expecting. Okay. Yeah, but
He's
you know,
raw as a scorer. That's something I would worry about because like
it is.
It's like, oh no, that guy will learn how to score. It's like that's actually the hardest thing in the game is to get the ball in the bucket.
Right, and some guys never learn that.
No.
I mean,
no offense to Frank, right? Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
But
I was not expecting Jang to be even in the mix for the Knicks. I think reading, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah, well, he was like, he's been like shooting up.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Hey, who's cooler than me?
Everyone.
So on interesting.
2022 NBA draft continues here on ABC as we are looking at the
Okay, so Kevin O'Connor had Sohan actually at 9 on his big board. Jang at 10. AJ Griffin 11. Where did he have Johnny Davis? At probably like 15.
And then at 11 sits the New York Knicks.
13.
How the crowd responds, sellout crowd.
Oh yeah, I think I was looking at the mock where he thought people were gonna go.
Yeah.
So, all right, here comes.
Yeah, I feel like the Knicks would if Johnny Davis is available, they're gonna take him.
In a matter of minutes, right now though, it's the Washington Wizards, and here's the commissioner.
Or,
Adam Silver.
Oh man, if Sac took Jaden Ivey, you could have made that trade and gotten Johnny Davis at 11.
Yep.
The Washington Wizards select Johnny Davis.
We're getting Jang. I think I like it better.
I think Jang.
I like it. It's also like a very developmental pick, which I think is more future looking. I like it.
Living this dream, like the Taco Bell commercial where he wears, that.
This thing from O'Connor is like, he's able to generate space for pull-ups. You can't make them.
But he gets them all.
Just, I mean, that is half the battle, maybe like 10% of the battle. I don't know.
Right.
If I could have dinner with one person, I'd pick Gordon Ramsay because he's sort of a food specialist.
I'd pick Emerald. I want to have dinner with Emerald.
Davis, he plays at the university.
Bam!
I have a younger brother and sister, Maxwell and Samantha, who are.
Oh God, I feel bad for Johnny Davis. I like him. I think that's a garbage organization.
I played back in high school. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Marcus. It sucks.
They kind of run a lot, and I feel like that's where I
I've
got
seen
most
him mocked there a few times, so that's probably seems like a good guess.
He also has a younger brother and sister who are also twins, Maxwell and Samantha. Johnny Davis feeling really good, going to Washington. Monica McNutt standing by. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Kevin.
Let me look up their Washington's depth chart.
Sarah's joining us. Dad, Mark, sitting down. All right, Johnny. You led Wisconsin in points and rebounds. You've achieved a dream, but you're already thinking about what you can do for the Wizards. What will you bring?
This seems like it's from like 3 years ago because it has Thomas Sadaransky and Ish Smith on it. But maybe they got him back. But it also, so I don't know.
Is Ish Smith still in the league?
Yeah. He was on Charlotte last year, but maybe then Charlotte got somebody. Okay, they traded for like Jan Mahinmi or something. I don't know what they did.
I saw the other day that like Brooke Lopez was 34,
Mhm.
and I couldn't believe that. I was thinking
He's
he was like
older,
40.
right?
I was like, he's been around for forever.
Yeah. I
His
mean, he
brother's
like
older, right?
he seems older. Brooke Lopez, like he might have been on the Nets with Jason Kidd.
Oh God, he was. What wasn't Brooke Lopez on
Maybe
the
not.
Stanford
Maybe not.
team that like went to the Final Four? No, that was like the late '90s. He couldn't have been on that team. Yeah, I
Maybe he
don't
was because he's an old 34.
know. Wow. Yeah, I hope Johnny Davis has a good run or gets traded off the Wizards. I don't know. They suck.
Yeah, I just feel like he's probably going to stagnate there, but
He'll probably get a lot of playing time. Well, maybe not. They have so many like decent guys like who they've got to play. They got to play Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Porzingis, Rui Hachimura, Denny Avdija, Corey Kispert, KCP, and then Johnny Davis. So he's like,
and if they trade Bradley Beal, it'd probably be for multiple players too, right?
yeah. But
So-
I mean, if he's their first round pick, they're gonna invest in him at least this year. Spike, you're no longer a Knicks fan. You fucking rooted for Brooklyn in the playoffs. Get out of here.
So who does Spike want? Did he say?
Here's some cheers.
You know what hurts my heart, Kevin, as a former Pacer in the Hicks versus Knicks days, when Spike has to come to Nets playoff games because the Knicks not even making the playoffs.
Spike, what do you have to say?
I feel bad for you.
Where do the Knicks go from here, man? Are you Ty Washington out of Kentucky? I mean, what
Come on.
Ty Washington this early? That'd be crazy.
Don't. Oh my god. Please take Jang. That's the right pick.
You've been glass half empty, Spike. You've always been glass half full. How have you remained positive as a Knicks fan throughout the years?
May 8th, 1970. I was 13 years old. I was at the Will Smith game.
Here's the commissioner. Here's the Knicks will take that game.
Here we are.
With the 11th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Ousmane Dieng from Bordeaux, France.
There you go. I can't tell what the fans are reacting to, but shut up. They're dumb.
I mean, probably like a mixed history with the French draft picks.
Right. I mean, I always like the French draft picks. So.
I mean, Ntilikina was right, but then obviously last year, I mean, they didn't draft him, but
Fournier.
Fournier, having Fournier on the team, it's like maybe that soured some people on the French experience, but. Jang, I think Jang's the right pick.
I think it's a great pick. Stephen A. Smith is complaining.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. That's good.
This pick is going to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma, well, we don't know yet, because remember, Oklahoma City is scheduled to pick.
Great. You don't get Jang.
So we will see if it's
Wait.
a pick swap, and you guys get something else. I'm not speculating, but this right
Wait,
now,
what?
This is Jang's highlight now. He played in the NBL Next Stars program. That's a program, of course, that features.
Said it's going to Oklahoma City.
What?
Chet Holmgren? I'll take it.
What?
This was such a. They probably never had Jang on their board, the Knicks. I don't remember hearing them interviewing him or. So, OKC is number 12. So.
The Knicks picking again.
No. I don't know, because it's still showing OKC on the board as next.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because the trade wasn't finalized?
Right.
And do they think they're really going to get the best of OKC in a trade?
Right.
It's like, Oh, I'm gonna trick this rube Sam Presti. I don't know.
Right. Oh my God! If OKC also gets Jang,
they're gonna be monsters. What is going on?
So many times to come here, to come his family.
that's got to be. I can't imagine what Jang is feeling right now. He probably knows already, though.
He's wearing the Knicks hat, though, right?
Yeah. They always do that shit.
That will be good. I'm ready to roll tomorrow.
Man.
OKC is a young team, so that will be.
Okay, he's saying OKC's a young team, something.
That will be super fun.
So, Larry, I need to jump off for a few minutes. Can I jump back in, or are you going to be broadcasting for a while? Or you just...
Yeah. Take your time.
Okay. All right, I will. Do you want me to sign out or sign in, or
you just turn your camera off?
Okay.
Whatever's easier for you.
And that report, Oklahoma City using that 11th pick for the Knicks. We will see if that switches. Let's talk about the 5th pick in the draft.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Was all let's do that. Jalen Rose when the Pistons had.
Wait, so there's no details about what they got.
What?
There's no details about what the trade actually is.
Yeah.
The process this going from Notre Dame, Midwest to Detroit. What's that like?
It's amazing. I'm so happy to be a Piston. I'm so happy. My grandfather actually.
I mean, I know the Knicks were still trying to get Jaden Ivey, but they're talking to him. He thinks he's still in Detroit.
I'm just looking forward to this opportunity.
I don't have any question here. I want to say this because I'm going to pass it to my man, Jalen Rose.
Well.
What are you saying?
I've seen Brett Siegel, who I've never heard of, but his handle is Brett Siegel NBA, and he says it's for multiple future first rounders.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh wait, I see another one that says that.
Welcome to Detroit.
Not from any blue check marks.
Off the floor as well. Just watching you progress in the Big Ten.
Yeah, there are people who like make up shit like that.
Yeah,
it's great.
And your 3-point percentage. The sky's the limit for your potential. We ride or die for our team. And if grandma live in the city, I just want to get invited for a home cooking. That's it.
Hey, she can cook now.
That's it. Done and done. But in all seriousness, we're going to welcome you with open arms. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
And Jaden, I mean, we've talked about it. Your mom being the head coach of Notre Dame women's basketball, whole generation of women's hoopers rooting for you, happy for you. I love the tears. It's not weak, it's work. What did your mom tell you right after you got drafted?
She was so proud of me. She was so proud of me. I was there when she took the head
Well,
coach.
that explains why the Thunder are picking again.
Watching me get drafted on the biggest night, so she's special.
The idea of joining Cade Cunningham in that backcourt.
Oh, you're seeing OKC's pick on the day, assuming.
Special. To play with a guy like
Or at least I just see pick as in, but
right. I mean that would obviously be I guess the Knicks pick, but we will see.
Future picks is in like future, not
right.
immediate future.
Your game and what you're going to bring to the next level, particularly to play with Cade. How do you see yourself fitting in that regard?
Yeah, I think I can play on the ball or off the ball, whatever the coaches need me to do.
I realize also I'm seeing a slightly different feed than you all because I'm on the ESPN versus the ABC one.
Okay, I was on ESPN, but just changed to ABC.
Yeah, so like on mine, it's like Kendrick Perkins and Jay Billis and a woman I don't know are interviewing Chet Holmgren.
Ah, okay.
I think that's the big
well,
thing, bringing that defensive energy.
We're on the main feed where Jaden Ivey is being interviewed by Stephen A.
So that's the biggest thing.
Nothing but winners.
Learn from your experience at Purdue.
Just to be an energetic guy. I think that I can bring that to the Pistons, and that's what I'm going to do. Just be an energetic guy and give my all every day.
We all know here, Detroit's a phenomenal basketball town, and the Pistons are beyond excited. And congratulations to you.
What up, though?
Still don't know the trade package.
I'm happy for you. Hey, but I wanted you with the Knicks. And this could be the Knicks.
Knicks pick, Oklahoma City, right now. Here's the commissioner.
It's gonna be all right. You'll be all right. We'll get a flick.
With the 12th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Jalen Williams.
Ooh. Okay, that is interesting because this is presumably the Knicks pick, right? We think, maybe, or was it just for future picks like far down the road?
The only things I saw in from unverified accounts was it just said future first rounders, but technically the pick right after the one they traded for is the future. So,
okay, so this could have just been OKC picking again. I mean, Jalen Williams seems like an OKC pick.
Yeah.
And by the way, this could be a Jalen Williams that is going to New York City. I'm not making a promise here, Stephen A. We will find out as Jalen's parents spent decades in the military serving and protecting our country. Now, Jalen's words,
if this is sticking with OKC, man, they are cleaning up tonight. You got Chet, Jang, and Jalen Williams.
Military family.
That's a lot of size to add to, to add to Giddy and SGA.
Air Force, and my dad worked on planes.
That's a good team.
I think joining the military is a really selfless act. Just kind of being aware of other people's needs. I kind of grew up, helping people out, doing a lot of charity work. I think my parents, I'm just incredibly grateful that they were able to, raise me the way that they did and really take their time with me and my brother and my sister.
There are two clips because he played for Santa Clara, which is the West Coast Conference that Gonzaga's in.
Yeah.
So there are two clips of him, one of him like breaking Chet's ankles. Well, I guess he's reunited with Chet. Another where he like crosses him up and does a step back on him. It's pretty cool.
They're probably like, well, if anyone's going to do this to our number 2 overall pick, we'd rather it happen in practice.
No one's going to do that to our guy.
Last time that a player from that university was drafted. In terms of legacy, what does that mean to you?
Oh my god.
It's just an honor to,
I like don't even know what to think.
It's like truly a blessing, kind of a dream come true.
Yeah, it's so I mean, I understand why it's happening, but it's so frustrating for this trade to like not have details yet.
I know. Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I mean, I love the fact that the Knicks are wheeling and dealing like that. I think that's a. I don't know. That's a sign of a good organization. They like know who they want and they know what the value of who they want is, and they're gonna like trade out of it or trade for it. But let's see. Maybe they're getting the assets together to make the trade with Detroit for Jaden Ivey.
Or I wonder if like maybe they had like 2 scenarios. Like one, we
yeah,
get Ivy, or 2, if we're stuck where we are, we just start building the war chest because we don't like anyone here.
I mean, they do want to build the war chest because they eventually want to trade for a disgruntled star. Whoever that may be. I mean, maybe they're working on a trade package for Donovan Mitchell. I'm not too jazzed about that, but
I don't know. He's just like
okay. Hold on.
So what you're telling me is, as we sit up here today, pick number 12 has come and gone. Yes. The New York Knicks don't have a player. That's what you're telling me.
Wow. We're gonna get more details. So it's as you said, future picks, but not the number 12 pick.
Yeah, they're building the war chest then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like anybody at number 11, and I would have liked to see them take Jang.
Yeah.
Then might as well punt and turn it into a future asset.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and again, when you can't shoot the ball, the game is so hard. But the reverse is in tow as well. When you can't shoot the ball,
yeah, it's frustrating. It really felt like they made a very smart move there. But
I know. I was so excited about the Jang pick.
I think he's going to come right in and make.
Turned out it was again the Thunder making the smart move and family.
40% from 3-point range. Got a 6'5"
I guess we won't know like if it was a good move by the Knicks until we know actually the details of what they got.
Right.
He landed in New York. And Johnny Davis did land in New York. This is just nothing. This is nothing. Congratulations to
Stephen A. wanted Johnny Davis.
I think that's, yeah. They couldn't have even gotten Johnny Davis because he landed at 10, but...
Speculated why the Knicks even got the number 1 overall
1985. I'm just saying.
So
in other words, what happened over 35 years ago is being held against the Knicks?
Well, they ain't won a championship since 73.
We in Brooklyn, New York, man. We in Brooklyn, New York. And this is happening to me on national television. All right, y'all.
This is normal,
All right.
Stephen A.
I need you, Stephen A. I need you for the rest of this round, no matter what, of course. And
Well, the Hornets are picking. They seem like every year they're after a center.
Yeah.
So Jalen Duren or Mark Williams could make sense here. I think they have the 15th pick as well.
The Thunder have 3 picks in the top 12. Chet Holmgren, Jang, and now we see Jalen Williams coming off the board. There is another Jalen Williams. He may go in the first round. He spells it with not the way you go, Jalen. It's Jaylen. That young man from Arkansas.
Oh, we all related. All related. Jalen, Jadens, we all related.
Got a nice pick from Houston. Houston's like, yeah.
I know
Detroit's taking care of
beyond that.
Yes.
Yes, we up.
We will see if
Houston's up too.
the Hornets can feel really good as you take a look at the Hornets. They've got 2 picks of the next 3 at 13 and 15.
I do feel like
One of the things that
maybe he slipped like
kind of speculate. You look at some
recently, but I feel like maybe AJ Griffin is the guy who just starts sliding in this one. Like,
Seems like that. Yeah, that's a good call. Because, I mean, during the NBA season, he was always slated to be like the 5th overall pick during the college season. I could see Griffin being taken here.
Like, we was talking to the player.
Duren from the University of Memphis.
Okay, they took Duren, center. So they could take, I mean, they could take Griffin at 15 maybe. Who's up next? Cleveland.
I mean, every team can use a shooter.
Yeah, right. Griffin fits in everywhere. He's just, I think the deal with him is just that there's like injury history.
Much love to his family.
God. But like, I'm not upset necessarily. Like I was excited for Jang, but like
He identifies with the Hulk as his
I can't be upset until I know what the trade was.
I mean, we know Oklahoma City's been stockpiling with a lot of good assets, so it's
right.
possible that, just New York has some of them now.
Yeah, right. And like, OKC has so many future assets that, at some point you got to cash them in, and they maybe just were like, we'll even pay a little bit more than we like to get Jang because we really like him.
Yeah.
It could also be.
I don't watch too much TV, but when the TV comes on, it's just always Friends. I've seen every season, probably over and over.
I don't know. It could be that like they're packaging the deal, or they're working out like a 3-team trade with somebody else.
That could be true.
And the trades will continue to come in with a flurry.
I feel like like less cynical than what Philadelphia did, but not like completely unprocessy to me right now. Oklahoma City, like they're like really going after these like lottery tickets and just being like, some of these are gonna hit and they're gonna hit big.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Jalen is here with his mom.
They need the one to really hit big, and maybe that's Chet.
Yeah, it could be Jang. Like I feel like not completely unreasonable that like if we look back 5 years from now, it'd be like, wow, Jang turned out to be a lot better than Chet. It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
This part of your career, what are you most excited about?
Just to be at the highest level and to keep getting better.
Mom, Anissa,
yeah, I think. Like I think OKC is going to be. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be good next year. I mean, unless they have like those fake injuries to SGA to make sure that they don't win too many games. I could even see them trading SGA, to be honest. Because like they have all these other. He's like too old for their timeline right now.
Yeah, and that is where it would start to feel like the sort of cynical, processy stuff, where they're like, they let people get attached to these players who seem like successful pieces, and they're like, actually, we aren't ready to win yet.
Yeah, that is a little cynical. It's like, let's keep rolling over until we get the super duper star. Hey, if SGA is in this trade with the Knicks, I'd be happy, but that wouldn't make sense.
I feel like the Knicks at that point would have to be the ones giving up.
Yeah. More than just 11 to get SGA.
He's physical, tough. He has great hands inside. He's a rim runner. He's a finisher. We all love lob threats. I just love the competitive fire that he plays with. I mean, look at that. Goes up, brings it down hard.
And Stephen A., Detroit is doing what you hope your hometown team does. They draft to the identity of the city, and they put a player, whether it's the bad boys in the 80s and the 90s winning championships, whether it's Big Ben and that group winning championships, he falls into the vein. You saw Isaiah Stewart. He's a taller version of that. He's a physical performer, as Chanae mentioned, and also going to be a lob threat, a terrific athlete. He's going to fit right in Detroit.
Okay, so they got better quicker than they were supposed to. They were supposed to tank till they could get Bronny.
Traded this pick. I think they were paying attention from the standpoint.
Yeah, they're too good now for Bronny. But Bronny's not supposed to be like a first overall pick, but he comes with LeBron James, so he might go first overall.
You need all of those different things. If you're Charlotte, I understand they're trying to figure out who their coach is going to be, and we get all of that. But I'm of the mindset that
yeah, how about that? Kenny Atkinson was going to sign with Charlotte and then decided, rather just be an assistant on a good team.
Actually, I like winning for a quality organization.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I met Michael Jordan, and he's crazy.
I bet Michael Jordan is out of his mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like you can't spend decades getting told you're like the greatest in the world like that and not be this.
Yeah. And he was like, even when he was in contemporary, he was just constantly the most competitive, ruthless person there was.
With the 14th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Ochai Agbaji from the University of Kansas.
I love this story. Agbaji grew 9 inches from his freshman year to his junior year in high school. 4 years at Kansas, 22 years of age, in a high school ranked 334th in the country in the class of 20.
Solid player who will contribute right away.
Yeah.
At a position of need for them.
Interesting insight into like where they sort of view their roster at too. Like, okay.
Yeah, right. It means like they feel like they're close.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure they are, but I mean they have Garland and Mobley, so that's like, you know, really good.
Yeah, I mean, there might still be some juice to squeeze out of Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
But
Karis juice.
Yeah. Also vitamin A.
Vitamin A.
But yeah.
A for Akron. Ohio.
The juice from Akron.
For my senior season going back,
but like, I don't know, like, are even like add like even another like meaningful veteran, aren't they still like topping out at like maybe the 60s? Like,
yeah, I agree. Agbaji is probably like the least upside in the draft. But he's a solid player. National champion. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Colin Sexton, who's a restricted free agent.
Yeah, he's kind of lost his sort of spot as like point guard of the future there.
What's that? He lost his spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monica, thank you so much. His dad said, doesn't matter where he's drafted. I just hope he goes to a team that will be able to tap the best out of him. He's going to Cleveland as we continue from Brooklyn after this.
It's a little weird to me. I thought, honestly, Garland was a bad pick for that, but
Yeah. Yeah, he ended up, I mean, being very good, and you might even say the third best player in the draft, or second best. I mean, Ja Morant has to be now the best player taken in that draft because of Zion's injuries. I guess you'd still say Zion number 2. Then maybe Garland 3. Maybe someone other than RJ 4. I love RJ and think he keeps getting better every year, and he's going to be an all-star.
yeah. I also feel like it's just so easy to lose sight of how young these guys are when they come in the league now, where you're like, oh, they've been around, like 4 or 5 years. And it's like, yeah, they're like 24 years old. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable for them to break out in like year 5 or 6.
Totally. I mean, like Brooke Lopez, he's still only 34 years old.
Yes, he could still break out.
Yeah. Robin.
Yeah.
Robin's in Orlando, I think.
Yeah, Robin's still got a 2020 season in him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Robin was on one of those Suns teams with Nash that was still like competing for a champion, or sort of competing for a championship.
Number 1 rated.
Nope.
Your deck, yours. There, exclusively at the Home Depot.
PNC Bank believes
So Charlotte, I could see AJ Griffin going here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
Like,
that's reasonable.
at this point, you're getting value where like you're like, hey, like if he stays healthy, this might actually be like a really
Oh
good
yeah, totally.
I'm gonna help you first.
John Blue is back.
Back. Okay, so what did I miss? What's going on?
We still haven't gotten details on the Knicks pick. It's 4 future picks from OKC, but not the number 12 pick. So OKC, so they got Jang at 11, and at 12 they took Jalen Williams, the Santa Clara guy.
What? No, I liked him.
I like him too, and 12 is like a little high, but I think he was rising up boards. So OKC got Chet, Jang, and Jalen Williams. That's a great draft.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what they gave up for the 11 pick, but yeah, I mean, OKC, Presti's Preston. So,
Son of a.
So at 13, Charlotte took Jalen Duren. At 14, Cleveland took Abaji from Kansas. And I think that's it for now.
I think he'll be good. He was a little bit of a late bloomer. I liked him though.
He's like a guy who's going to contribute. We were talking about it. Who's like ready to contribute now. And
that's a good team.
It is a good team, but they obviously think they're pretty good. I don't know. I mean, at this spot, I don't know if there's too many more like upside picks I would have taken over him. I'm thinking AJ Griffin to Charlotte.
The Charlotte Hornets select Mark Williams from Duke University.
Wow.
Well.
So they took 2 centers with 13 and 15. That's weird. It means either they're trading one of them or Michael Jordan's crazy.
Wait, but don't they already have centers?
They need a center. They have like PJ Washington. They took. Who did they take? They took a center from Texas last year. I forget his name. But he didn't really play.
Wait, I thought they had like 3 different Plumlees on their team.
They might. They still have Plumlee. They have one of the Plumlees. They have Mason.
I think every team has one Plumlee at least.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Atlanta's on the clock, and then Houston. Okay. Whew.
2 centers for the Hornets.
I don't know what they're
This
doing.
is why Kenny Atkinson was like, "Yeah, I don't know if we see eye to eye here."
He looked at their
Like
draft
small
board and he's like, "Okay."
I can always ask her anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Being a pro, for her to be there for me is great.
Wow. So do you think that the Knicks got like a bunch of picks from the next couple of years, or?
It seems like that, but the fact that we haven't heard exactly what yet, I feel like it's maybe there's a third team that might be involved, and like we're still sorting out the details.
Because if there's a third team involved, then it could mean, the Knicks are shipping off somebody.
It could, yeah.
That could be your dream come true.
The dream come true, and maybe Jaden Ivey is involved as well.
Wow. I love this. Anything is possible
This is so
on draft
exciting.
night, including, Charlotte taking 2 centers and 3 picks, and Jaden Ivey somehow miraculously ending up on the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's believed in himself.
Wait, proposed trade. Okay. So Charlotte's not so crazy. I just showed on the ticker that the Jalen Duren pick is being traded to Detroit.
Congratulations. I'm sure the Hornets are excited.
Wow.
Tremendous defender. Elizabeth, congratulations to you as well. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you so much. On a night where we celebrate 50 years of Title IX, it's just so awesome to see that experience with Mark Williams.
Yeah, this Mark Williams 9'9" standing reach.
Damn.
That is nuts.
Just played against each other 48 hours ago.
Wow.
God.
Excited about this opportunity.
Still can't dunk though. It's so weird.
But the finger rolls even harder from that spot.
It's almost like a horizontal.
So happy for my
Oh my God.
To play with LaMelo Ball, a guy that loves to advance the basketball and make the people around him better. And as a defensive
So wait, who is Detroit
some of the biggest games
giving up then?
Offensively were against the Charlotte Hornets.
I see Shams just tweeted Knicks are trading Kemba Walker to Detroit. For what? I don't know.
Happy for Kemba.
It's not Cade, right?
I hope.
You don't think,
I
you
hope
don't
it
think
is, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
The way he rim protects. I mean, you had guys that were thinking twice, 3 times about putting up a shot when he's in the vicinity. That's what you want if you're in Charlotte, because they will point defensively.
Sounds like Ivy is staying put, Duren is going to Detroit, and Pistons take on contract of Kemba and give up the pick they got in the Jeremy Grant trade. That's what I'm reading.
72% of the field. Oh my God.
Wow. So the Knicks just got off Kemba's salary and got a late pick.
To a Final Four appearance since Anthony Davis in 2012. Yeah. So he has.
I mean, I don't understand how. I mean, Charlotte's got to be involved somehow.
This is like, it's beyond me right now. I don't know.
Especially for the women's game myself.
Remember when you thought the Knicks were getting Jang for a second?
Yeah, I was so happy.
Those were halcyon days, my friend. That was
those were such good days.
2022 NBA Draft. The Atlanta Hawks select A.J. Griffin from Duke University.
They're like, it didn't work with Reddish, but this time.
And the third Duke player in the
I mean, that's good value where they got him.
Oh yeah, he'll probably be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at the Kevin O'Connor's big board. He had him at 11.
Yeah.
So.
Starter in the 2006.
A little bit of a slide.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
I mean, trading
the Rockets.
I mean, 11. They got to be getting something. So wait, the
I use TikTok more,
pick from Jeremy for the Jeremy Grant spot. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means because that's a future pick for Milwaukee.
So far, but
yeah.
that's something that you could take with you for the rest of your life. I went through struggles.
Yeah, which has no value at all.
I was at my weakest
Right.
moments in life.
A Milwaukee pick is like a second-round pick.
That's a
Right.
Like that's yeah.
negative thing, but we should see it. That's what I want to do.
Okay, so who do we want now? I wanted Jalen Williams.
7.
Who do I want?
Teams in the league, starter 2006 in the finals for the Mavericks.
I know a lot of people like Tari Eason, but you guys don't need another forward.
No, and then Jaden Hardy, but he's a pure bucket getter who needs to improve his efficiency in playmaking. I think we already have one of those. So
just take Malachi Branham.
I don't know though, because he had one good year of 3-point shooting, right? Like, I don't know. Oh man.
What's going through your mind?
But he can defend, so maybe that's it.
You know.
Yeah.
No, just ready to get to work, and man,
he's a score first guy, and he didn't shoot threes well until college, and success came on a small sample.
I want to send a special.
And he lacks dynamism.
Welcome to the league.
You want
I don't know.
Dynamic.
I know it's
dang
great.
it.
I hope you soaking it all in. Enjoy this moment. This don't happen to a lot of people. Just live in it.
One of the comps for Tari Eason is Jeremy Grant. Okay. Jeremy Grant's getting a lot of play tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Welcome. Love.
He's trending.
Gotta get a little of that rookie hazing. Probably trying to defend the PG.
All right, well, at least Kemba's gone. I thought he was going to play anyway. But it's possible all of this is about clearing. It's about, like, getting Kemba off the books, maybe getting somebody else off the books later, so they could sign Jalen Brunson outright.
Okay.
18 years old. You know, he doesn't turn 19 till the end of August, but, you know, he has
Oh, man.
He can shoot the ball.
Can't believe they took Jalen Williams so early.
Yeah.
For ATL, I'm happy he found a home.
But if it really costs a first just to get off Kemba Walker's contract, like that,
that's
the 11th pick. That's just stupid.
That's too much. There's no way.
Yeah, it can't be just that.
You know, this next step is really just hard work. You know,
Kemba Walker's contract wasn't even that bad.
Now I'm just ready.
I mean, the fact that he can't play at all is bad, but he's not like he had John Wall or anything like that. Like,
right, he could still probably play.
You know, so I'm just really excited to be
Jesus.
right now.
Also, like, you know, the Knicks have history of trading away cap space, or like opening up cap space and then it not really working out.
Yeah.
They're both physical defenders, Kevin. Here's the difference. He's also a 45% three-point shooter. He also plays above the rim. And now you supplement...
Maybe Tari Eason. I'm on board. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be all right there.
It's not like, I mean, Şengün's great, but you don't know he's like a long-term keeper, so...
Oh, no, I have no idea. No idea. Ooh, plus his first plus from O'Connor on Eason. Gritty defender, equipped to thrive in the NBA. The body of a forward and the quickness of a guard. Ooh.
That's some good stuff.
Wait, I don't want to fall in love with this guy because I'm really going to pick. So, all right, I'm done.
George obviously is one of the great guys in the NBA. The fact that he's got that kind of support.
He attempts foolish passes through closed windows and often travels off the catch. How can you often travel? Like, that's pretty terrible.
Right.
The other side of that,
Wow.
the shot is pure. So you look at someone that's an efficient scorer that can play defense. This was a good pick for him.
I see some Kings fan I follow trying to talk people into Murray being good, and it's not worth freaking out over.
I agree. I think Murray is good. I just don't think he's great.
Yeah. A lot of the Knicks fans that I'm seeing
So a guy
seemed very
like this who
upset.
can move and can spot up and knock down shots is going to be an instant impact.
The absolute
I mean,
ideal.
I don't know. I don't know until like the full thing is done.
A special
Yeah.
talent. We know that he embraces
But I
challenges.
guess if you're just like a fan who's like, I just want to like leave tonight with a fun player, then like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably disappointed.
Yeah.
And he will bring you along.
I was happy for a second with Jang.
I remember.
Yeah, that's before you logged off.
Yeah, you left and everything went to shit.
No, it went to shit.
It went to shit before. It went to shit before.
I was hoping it had like rebounded. That's why
Yeah.
I left. I knew it was going to get really emotional. I hate seeing Larry cry.
Yeah.
This past season after what they did a year ago.
And what's happening is when Adam Silver changed the rule and players who get drafted and become all-stars or all-NBAs have to lose so much money to leave their current teams, guys like Trae Young are
Okay, Rockets pick is coming.
So now you need to build around him to keep him happy. And we saw what Luka did this year as he advanced with the Mavs. Again, I want to remind everybody, Trae Young did that last year. This is the kind of player that'll help them bounce back.
Let's make sure that we're honest about the Atlanta Hawks here. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals the season before last. They were feeling themselves a little bit. They took it for granted, their success, and they were in a great situation. So now things are turning around.
Is that your Knicks?
Guys, the pick is in. We'll get to the Knicks argument in a moment. Never in the Eastern Conference.
Because they don't like Trae.
2022 NBA draft. The Houston Rockets select Tari Eason.
Good pick. Good pick.
I've already talked myself into it.
Yeah.
He's not going to be asked to do the same stuff he was doing at LSU. Like he's not going to have to play make.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am in.
Jalen Green's got himself some toys.
Mm-hmm.
Averaging 17 points per game off the bench this season.
Rebuild's going well, and best of all, the Nets are not looking like the future is bright.
I know that. Yeah, we got to see what happens with Ben. If Ben Simmons decides he's basically never going to play basketball again, then the Nets might be a dumpster fire like really soon. And if they don't sign Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant gets upset, oh my God, this is just the greatest thing ever.
This great nickname,
Piso.
Yeah. The sad thing is the Rockets still owe 2 top 4 protected picks to OKC for that damn Westbrook trade.
I mean, they could just keep being bad until those don't like turn into 2 seconds.
Yeah, but that's like years,
7 years.
One is 2024, and then I think the other one's 2026.
I was younger
and
growing up through life.
Yeah.
My mom is
A long time.
So
Yeah.
I think this might be time for me to sign off.
Okay.
Gotta feed the cats. Get to bed.
Yeah, make sure you feed Frankie too.
Oh yeah, I'll throw him a little sardine out in the alley.
Okay, good.
Oh man.
All right, thanks for joining, Marcus.
All right, thanks, Marcus.
It's super fun. I feel like we just watched 17 future Hall of Famers get drafted.
We sure did. Everyone's a winner tonight, except the teams that don't make a pick.
Yeah. Well, they get to win even more later, though.
Yeah.
All right. Good night,
All right,
guys.
man. See ya.
Hey.
You know, just my versatility and my, competitive spirit. I'm always out.
Oh, man. Whoa. Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm fired up now.
Yeah. When's the next Rockets pick? 24?
It's whatever they got for from the Mavericks, the Mavericks spot.
Not anymore. He's a first-round pick going to Houston.
Wow, so I'm just looking. O'Connor had the Kansas guy, Ochi, he had him at 22nd on his big board.
Okay. Must be,
So
I
he
guess,
moved
lack
up.
of upside kind of thing.
Yeah.
Airbnbs you never gonna get. Oh my. Who is that? This is the man from Toronto. What? Hold on. Wait a second. Who? My clients think you're me. So you're gonna complete the mission or I'll kill you. I'm not capable of doing this. I don't want to be you anymore. One more time.
Yeah, there's still some interesting guys out there. There's still Jovic.
Yep,
other
Nikolai
Nikola.
Jokic. There's still my guy Branham. There's still let's see. Ty Washington.
Ty Washington.
Blake Wesley from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I like Christian Brown from Kansas.
Oh, there was talk around here, obviously, about McGowan's from Nebraska. Yeah, but O'Connor has him at 29th and says shades of Zach LaVine with less hops. I don't know.
Were like people in Red Oak, Iowa talking about McGowan's?
No, but like in the like local, in the Omaha paper and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's because like the only thing they're talking about around here right now in the sports world is College World Series, obviously, and then McGowan's because he's like a Nebraska player that's probably going to go in the first round.
Right. Is he from Iowa?
No, but like it's
just because Nebraska is
the Omaha paper is like all Nebraska Cornhuskers. They don't even they wouldn't even cover like Keegan Murray. Like that's like a non-story to them.
Right. So does so in your town of Red Oak, is the paper most people get the Omaha paper?
Yeah, because Omaha's like an hour away. There's you get the Des Moines paper. Des Moines like 2 hours away. So definitely closer to Omaha, and yeah, that's the paper that people get, and that's what my mom gets.
But people are Iowa Hawkeye fans still.
Yes, you're gonna have more Iowa Hawkeye fans than Nebraska fans and stuff, but there are a lot of Nebraska fans here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure in the 80s that was big too.
Yeah.
Okay,
so who's on the clock? The Bulls?
Yeah.
11 days, 75 games, all 30 teams see the Stars.
Man.
The core for the first time at the NBA 2K23 Summer League from July 7th to the 17th. Tickets and experiences. NBA events.
Here we go.
Okay, right now the Bulls are on the clock. With the 18th pick, let's go to the podium and Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 18th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Dalen Terry from the University of Arizona.
Terry's creativity on the defensive end of the court earned him a spot on the Pac-12 all-defensive first team. That same creative...
Man, that is going to be...
his other passion in life.
It'll be a hell of a defensive team.
The Bulls?
Yeah.
Is Dalen Terry a defensive guard, they're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So with him and like Lonzo and Caruso, he's got some,
Patrick Williams.
Defense in those guards. Yeah.
People kind of have a misconception that I'm like really public. If you really know me, you know I'm real private.
Wow.
Publicly private.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Levine this summer.
My mom, she used to always wake me up.
I'm like sad. I don't know what to feel.
I mean, draft night's supposed to be a night of optimism, and I don't feel like you've gotten anything back yet to be optimistic about.
Right.
I think there will be stuff. I really do. I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. I think a lot of. I was feeling okay with the trade until like I started reading a lot of people freaking out about the idea of the Kemba part of it. But maybe that's not it. I don't know.
Specifically, what you saw with Arizona, he's going to bring that to Chicago.
Absolutely, and glue guys love to play defense.
That just doesn't seem like enough to me. I don't. That's why.
No, it's definitely not.
Lost.
And I thought, and there was also saying that like there were OKC picks involved, and I don't even understand how Detroit's involved either.
Unless the Knicks are getting Luka Garza, in which case you should be on board with this. Yeah.
You mentioned Iggy. Iggy went to Arizona. This young man went to Arizona. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. He turns 20 next month here.
Okay, Woj says Memphis is acquiring the number 19 pick from Minnesota.
Minnesota's just like, we're good.
Yeah, we don't need any new players.
Kyrie Irving, and Woj reporting that potentially, if they cannot strike a deal on an extension, that he has given multiple teams that he wants to be going to potentially down the road for a long-term deal. One of those teams, it's the Lakers, a handful, the Heat.
What I don't even understand is how it's saying that like the Pistons acquired Jalen Duren and Kemba Walker from the Knicks. And are sending Milwaukee's 2025 first-round pick, which they acquired yesterday. But how did the Knicks even ever get Jalen Duren? He was drafted by Charlotte, I thought.
Yeah. I don't know. I missed something here. Like,
yeah. Okay, so then there is another tweet from further back saying the Knicks are acquiring Jalen Duren from Charlotte. So what does Charlotte get out of all this?
Waiting for you. This is supposed to be your brother who you swore you'd never left, who you haven't been there for since you
yeah, no clue.
We really have to wait for all of the details.
Wait, so hold on. Wait, and the Spurs are gonna take 20th?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're on again. Jesus.
Yeah, I guess it's the Boston pick from the Derek White deal.
Oh yeah, I forgot that would be. This says from Toronto on here. I wonder if that's like because Boston wouldn't have been 20th. Boston would have been like 27th or 28th.
We're getting a report in going to Memphis. Laravia is not.
So yeah, I don't know. This must have been from some other deal they did. God, the freaking Spurs. I don't know.
Ravia. He's 30th in this mock draft from Kevin O'Connor. You know, you got to trust Memphis in the way they draft. They always take these high upside guys that have turned out pretty well.
I'm not no Beethoven or nothing, but I mean, there's a video of me from 8th grade.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know anything about this guy.
Music, guilty pleasure. I say, like Taylor Swift or something like that. I rock with all that. The pet that I had when I was living at home was a Chihuahua named Sandy.
Oh yeah, I see him like 34th on O'Connor's. Shades of Kyle Anderson.
Make life easier.
Wow.
Get wherever I want, whenever I want. My favorite meal is definitely tacos.
Wow. I mean, Memphis is good though. I mean, they just need some like extra pieces. So.
Yeah, I need to consolidate something.
Really, the turning point. He transferred to Wake Forest and then went toe-to-toe with Paolo Banchero back in February.
So what's the plan in Iowa this week?
It's so I've seen a bunch of family already, and then tomorrow night is sort of this weekend is the my hometown's like big town festival of the year. So there'll be a parade on Saturday. That's where Joni Ernst used to show up, except when once public sentiment turned against her, she stopped coming. So there's a parade, but there's like different people come back for their class reunions and stuff. And I don't have a reunion this year, but there's like on Friday night, there's sort of a thing where everybody who's back in town goes to this one place, and it's that'd be cool. So I'll see. What's
the place? Is it a bar or a...
It's like a bar hotel, and so they've got a big outdoor space, and they do a band and all this stuff. So
cool.
Yeah.
When do you get back?
It'll be fun.
When are you going back to New York?
I'm flying back Monday night. So and my brother and his kids are coming down tomorrow, and they're they don't think I'm cool anymore because now they're like 15 and 16 or whatever, but they're like my favorite people in the world. They're awesome. Yeah. So
nice. And is everybody staying at your mom's place?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been pretty good. But been video chatting with Arthur and Amelia. And and now it's kind of sad because Arthur he's like dad, and then Amelia's like, no, Dad is not here. So the whole time when I'm not there, but then she pulls out the iPad and he's like, Dada? So now he knows of me as the guy who shows up on his mom's iPad screen. So
yeah.
I mean, at least it's something that I'm getting to see. But yeah.
Right. I mean, it's good that he's saying words, he understands how the technology works. But now we'll just always expect you to be the iPad guy.
Exactly. He understands loss and neglect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's nice to be back here for sure.
Some things just go together, like Saturday mornings.
Man.
Sunshine and roses.
I love draft night. Anything's possible, Larry. Something's gonna turn up for the Knicks. Like, are you hearing anything? Like, what's the latest?
Pure connections at home.
This is just it's so weird that there's not more.
Sounds like a cool dude.
Okay, so Charlotte got the Milwaukee pick, the future Milwaukee pick.
Okay.
Kemba dumped somewhere. The Knicks actually, no, not seeing much.
So Kemba's at home refreshing Twitter, trying to figure out
find out where he's playing.
It is who they are, what they seek, why they play. The Stanley Cup Final.
Someone's guess saying, my guess, Knicks traded number 11 for multiple first-round picks, allowing them to use a future first to get off Kemba, and now they still have an extra first to use in another deal down the road. They want cap space and trade chips. They aren't building through the draft anymore.
Well, that's fine in other years. I think there was still talent at 11.
I do too.
Wow. I don't know about that.
I know. Especially with Jang dropping the way he did. I mean, if OKC was jumping on that, Knicks are not, if they're not trying to build through the draft, I mean, I think they're maybe delusional about where they are in the process as far as how close they are to being a competitive team.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would rather, if I'm going to trade something like that, I want to trade it for something rather than maybes down the road.
Right.
It seems like they traded it for flexibility.
Right. Yeah, it's flexibility for what? I mean, I guess the thought is to sign Jalen Brunson or do some sort of move like that, but I don't know. I mean, Jalen Brunson's good. I like him, but I don't know.
Okay.
It seems silly, and Dallas might just re-sign him anyway.
Yeah, clearing out cap space or doing moves for the potential of signing somebody just seems so risky to me.
They're not in cap hell forever. I don't know. I think they should still be. I mean, collecting future assets, that part of it is good, and they made sure to at least. It's not like they only use the 11 pick to get off of Kemba's deal, but to, you still want to be getting guys who you could develop and not just be thinking you're ready to build a team through free agency.
Right, and didn't they just sign Kemba's deal last year?
Yeah.
Doesn't that drive you absolutely bananas when it's a deal they just signed and it is already garbage?
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it already being garbage because I thought it was like a decent. It was a decent
flyer. Yeah.
It was a decent flyer at the time. It was 2 years, $8 million a year. And so yeah, it's $8 million a year. Like,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Hard. That's also one you could like wave and stretch where it's like 2.3 million per year for the next 3 years.
There's got to be more to this because that is just not worth giving up an number 11 pick in a loaded draft.
Yeah.
There's got to be something more to it.
No, I'm sure there's also maybe one more future OKC pick coming, but still. So it's like basically trading 11 for a future OKC pick and getting rid of Kemba. I don't know.
Doesn't look good.
No,
we'll
it
see
doesn't.
When when Kevin O'Connor gives out his grades, if they're like sitting in the D or F range.
It sounds like they're gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, based on where they are in their timeline, they cannot just not have a first round pick. They gotta get somebody in the first round tonight, which it sounds like they're not gonna do. I mean, I think they were legit trying to get Jaden Ivey, and that wasn't able to happen. And then they maybe had a backup plan, but this is just weird.
And this decision to, we don't build through the draft anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one guy's guess as to what was happening, but
it would be interesting though if that was the move, just based on I don't know, the Rams, having success by not valuing the draft at all. The Suns basically ignoring the draft.
Yeah.
And some of these things, it's like, so I don't know.
I mean, there are ways to do it. Like the Clippers, when they were able to, and the Nets, the Nets did have some good draft picks, but the Nets, when they signed Kyrie and KD, didn't work out exactly how they wanted. But there are ways to build through free agency instead of like a homegrown thing like the Warriors did. But that's not. I don't know. Doesn't seem like that kind of overhaul is in the cards right now.
Yeah, and it's also, I feel like that's not the one the fans like.
No,
fans
it's definitely not.
Watching players get better.
I feel like that's where most Knicks fans are right now. They want like a homegrown, slow build, and whether it's Dolan or the Leon Rose is in on it, or Tibbs, it's like all the signs are pointing to trying to rush this thing. When it seems like they were going about things the right way for a little bit.
I agree, and it's just so funny because we talked about this before. It's like you can do everything right, and then you can just completely undo it.
Yeah,
so fast. Like one mistake just counts as much as 3 years worth of making all the right decisions. So there's an asymmetry there that is scary and I think very sad for Knicks fans, at least the way it looks right now. I don't know.
Right. But still, gotta hold out a full opinion until we finally know what all the details are.
Yeah.
With us right now, you mentioned Bill Self.
Yeah. So the Nuggets are on the clock.
To that, because we're going to have a pretty special moment coming up in a few minutes. When they announce that, look, you're looking around.
What are the Nuggets going to do? They're a team in a weird spot.
The commissioner is at the podium.
They don't know who's going to be healthy. If they're all healthy, they're a finished product almost.
It sounds like it's going to be a Kansas player. Oh, a trade.
The New York Knicks trade the draft rights to Ousmane Dieng, the 11th
to the family, my brother.
To the Oklahoma City Thunder for 3 conditional first-round picks.
3 conditional.
Wow.
Okay, and one of them we know
The Denver Nuggets select Christian Brown,
went to Charlotte.
University of Kansas.
Right.
Okay, that was the thing they were talking to Abaji about. So his Kansas teammate, Christian Brown, who I think is a good player, went to Denver. Okay, so that means the Knicks get... Okay. So basically, they traded 11 and Kemba Walker for 2 future firsts.
Exactly. That's the net.
I mean, that sounds... It depends what those future firsts are. I mean, that is possibly good value.
It possibly is. I just looked. I'm looking at Kevin O'Connor's big board. I had to scroll.
Yeah.
Christian's 43rd.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah. But I've seen him, you know, all over as far as like where he's being. He was always being mocked. I saw him being mocked more around like the 30s.
And I guess though, once you get to a certain level, there isn't that much difference in where these guys are. So
yeah, and it's hard to be if you're drafting. This is the 21st pick. This is 21, 22.
Yeah, because there's also a lot of fit involved, whereas versus best player available.
Yeah. Denver is a team that doesn't need to go. Needs to think about who can contribute. I think this guy shoots well enough to contribute, and if you think he's the best guy available, like, just take him. You don't want to like trade down not knowing if you could get him.
Yeah. Man, and Denver, I mean, granted this is a new regime, but I can't like their draft record is pretty good, and there's some misses in there. Although I'm still a Bull guy. I still think there's going to be a Bull moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, it feels great. I'm just grateful for the support. You know,
Shades of Alex Caruso, Kevin Herter, and Wesley Matthews. Okay.
It's the 2 white guys and Wesley Matthews.
This guy reminds me of like these other white guys.
Self is there.
2-time champion Bill Self now.
Associated with that organization's got to be pretty happy right now.
Bear with me, Christian. I'm not that great at math. April, national championship. June, July. What month are we in? June? No. April, May, June. I'm terrible at this. Anyway, a great 90-day stretch or so when it comes to your basketball career. How will you sum this all up when you look back?
Man, looking back on it's going to be crazy. Like you said,
Memphis is on the clock.
You know, coaching the guys.
Oh, man.
That was great. And now that I'm drafted, it's been an amazing process. Like I said, I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful for my family. That's pretty much all I can say. I'm just grateful.
And it's...
Christian, congratulations. We got to go back upstairs to
I think this Memphis pick is going to Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a proposed trade to Minnesota.
Yeah, because Memphis had the pick at 19. I don't know what else went there. Maybe Minnesota was just like, we'll take the worst pick.
With the 22nd pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Walker Kessler from Auburn University.
All right.
By the way, this pick will go to Minnesota. So
okay.
If you're wondering about, hey, they already got size of Karl Anthony Towns. Hey, that's the 3-point shooter, Karl Anthony Towns. Now you got a rim protector and a shot blocker.
Well, Stephen A. brought this up earlier when Karl Anthony Towns was in college.
All right.
Coach K didn't have
So Malachi Branham went to he went to San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
who had a couple of times this year, Kevin.
Okay, so yeah, elite shot blocking and finishing skills. I don't know. Massive interior force. I mean, that is something Karl Anthony Towns is not. So
if I was not playing basketball, I would definitely be playing table tennis, no question.
This guy.
See me in a headband, I have wristbands, I have the whole deal. I would say I'm definitely a little bit of a nerd. Favorite trilogy, Lord of the Rings. A big Harry Potter fan. I read Harry Potter like twice. My childhood celebrity crush. Well, I mean, it's got to be, what's Hermione's name from Harry Potter? It was Emma Watson for me. My favorite comedy movie, probably Probably Step Brothers. I also like Anchorman. 47% of the time it works every time or something like that. My least favorite candy, the orange peanuts that you see at like.
Oh yeah, those are circus peanuts.
Yeah.
My favorite place to shop.
Oh, they're terrible.
We can all agree. I like this guy.
Dirty joke. That's a pretty bad one.
I missed that dirty joke.
You're into bad jokes. I had a joke for you. Ready?
Okay.
Why did Walker Kessler cross the stage?
Why's that?
Because he got drafted.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Jeez. Ooh.
Have you ever read the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I have.
Yeah.
I actually read it as a kid, and then I reread it as an adult, like a few years ago.
Oh, so not even like not even like around the time the movies came out, but more recently.
No, and to be honest, like I didn't love the movies that much. They were kind of exhausting. They were so long.
They're very long. I mean, I liked them.
They were fine, but like Return of the King, I was like, Jesus. But I actually, and I found the movies like a little harder to follow than the books.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much in the world and like so much detail. I had an easier time with the books. So.
Yeah, when there's such big worlds like that, the books are a lot better for really sitting in it and seeing the difference.
Exactly. So yeah, it's good though.
As a books. The books, yeah, I've heard very good. Like I've heard it's great, obviously. So I was thinking it's on my list.
I would say check it out, and it's one of those things that you might be like, oh, I already know the story because you've probably seen the movies, right? Yeah. But I think there's still something there if you do read them.
I started reading one of your recommendations, Station 11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
It's good. Yeah. I'm not that far into it.
It's interesting that it was written before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it was like the view. It's sort of the Stephen King style view of The Stand style,
right.
Like, oh, this big pandemic that hits is going to kill like 99.99% of people. It's that sort of thing, which is, it's just interesting to see that now that we've actually lived through another pandemic.
Yeah, I was noting that the way it's, I mean, I'm only like 3 or 4 chapters in, and so far, like the pandemic is spreading like to everybody immediately. Like there's the first patient coming from Moscow on a plane, and then like some airline agent at the airport in Toronto gets it from someone walking off the plane. It's like, well, I know now it doesn't incubate that quickly. And I know that the ventilation is pretty good on airplanes. But still, it's I like.
With the 23rd pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select David Roddy from Cal.
I don't know anything about Roddy here.
Roddy Piper. Yeah, it's very interesting because I remember when like we were first hearing news about COVID, like, and I think a lot of people were thinking of the pandemic in those terms. Like I thought, like everybody's gonna have the flu for the next 2 weeks, and like everybody was gonna get it all at once. Not that it was a slow rolling thing.
8 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting.
Did you read this book recently?
Yeah, I read it maybe a couple months ago.
Okay.
The author of that wrote 2 other books that I actually read before that are like, one is like kind of a sequel of the other. So I kind of read 3 of her books in rapid succession, which I don't know. I liked them all, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you. I think I'll continue it and let you know what I think.
Okay. Good. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna stand the test of time the same way the Lord of the Rings trilogy has. So
yeah, you're not gonna have future centers from Auburn talking about their favorite book being this Emily St. Mandel book.
Maybe.
We'll see. So Roddy Piper. First of all, I think it said on the scroll bar that it's being traded to Memphis. He he was on Colorado State. Colorado State was one of those teams, this mid-major that everybody thought was going to upset. They went against Michigan in the first round, and then Michigan.
Right, that's right.
But a lot of people were picking Colorado State. And after Michigan, I think, had to play in the play-in game.
I think they did have to play in the play-in game. Yeah, because they were like top 5 during the regular season, and then they just fell off the map. And then
ended up doing fairly well, or okay at least in the playoffs.
Yeah, better than most Big Ten teams in the tournament.
Let's see the report on Roddy. I think he's like a kind of stocky guard, sort of like Desmond Bain in a way.
Okay, it's in shades of Grant Williams, DeJuan Blair, Admiral Schofield. Schofield, that's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut. Okay, so Grant Williams. So, not a guard.
No, he's definitely a forward or supersized wing. So whatever that means.
But I think he's built, which Grant Williams is pretty built as well. He's not. Grant Williams like 6'8", probably.
Yeah, so they got him actually a little bit short, 6'4.5". Okay, that's not. I don't know. That's supersized. He must be supersized in terms of thickness.
That's the thing. He's like Roddy Piper.
Exactly. I hope he plays in a kilt.
Chase with Chase Freedom Unlimited. Earn 5% on our cabin. Hello, cashback. Hello, Kevin Hart. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited with no annual fee. How do you
looks for
Chase? Make more of what's yours.
With New Jersey's Clean Energy program, there's so much to save. Free assistance for a more energy-efficient home.
Look for some tweets.
Small business, big savings on new.
Yeah. The other thing is that whole Colorado State. I mean, you get with these mid-majors, it's like who they play, right?
Yeah. It's funny. I think where you were out, we were talking. That's when the Jalen Williams pick came in, and because he played for Santa Clara, so there are some clips of him like crossing over Chet when they played in WCC. One in which Chet fell, broke his ankles, and so OKC is just like, Chet, we're gonna take care of you. No one's gonna do that to you. We're gonna draft a guy.
So they're gonna bury him on the bench. All right. Good night, Mom.
Good night.
Good night. The Gonzaga program. Oh, looking good and stylish. I dig it.
Yeah, that's funny. We're gonna this guy will be on our side.
Yeah.
That's great.
Under team, but by the way, loaded when it comes to draft picks.
Okay, so the Bucks are on the clock.
Report.
Or is this the oh yeah, Bucks.
But is this one the Bucks are sending to someone else? I don't even know now.
Conditional first-round picks to Stephen A. Smith's New York Knicks. Stephen A. Kevin Degani, Monica McNutt. Stephen A. has been very quiet over the last 25 minutes.
I mean, if Stephen A. is upset, the trade must be pretty good.
I'm trying to keep my cool. The New York Knicks. I don't know what the hell they're doing, and neither does the rest of New York City. We don't know. All right. We know right now what the Bucks are doing.
24th pick in the 2022 NBA draft. The Milwaukee Bucks select Marjan Beauchamp from the NBA
G League.
Mm-hmm. Don't know much about him.
A celebration. What a journey for this young man.
No, but
G League at the age of 21, played 12 games for Yakima Valley College.
I'm a G League guy.
Okay.
I love it. So we'll see. Good for him, man. He is feeling it. The emotions are hitting him hard. Good.
And he gets to immediately play for a contender, so good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This could be. I don't know where he was up. He's 23rd on O'Connor's big board.
Okay.
Shades of Kelly Oubre and Matt Barnes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Got taken right around there at 24. 2 more picks till the Rockets.
I know.
The 2021 season was
was a breakout star, averaging a shade over 15 points a game.
I like this though. It was a long and winding. Well, O'Connor has this as a minus, but a long and winding road, playing at 4 different high schools and 1 community college before going to the G League. See, I think that's a positive.
Yeah,
I think it could be a positive.
Yeah,
yeah,
just late bloomers. So
I mean, yeah, exactly. And then it could be there's like an attitude problem or something, and that's why no one wants to keep him around or he bounces around.
Mhm.
But it also could be he's just working, overcoming adversity. Man, that would be awesome if he can contribute pretty fast.
Yeah, he's tears are growing.
I'm this happy, you know. God never gave up on me, you know.
Man, good for him.
All the adversity and no one believing in me, you know, is this special.
Kevin just talked about how unorthodox your journey has been.
Yeah.
One of the things
Hustle.
I'm most curious about you is the year you
Hustle, it said.
Hustle's one of the things. I like it. Yeah,
I
I
like
just think he's a good guy for the
Yeah.
life, man. Good for them.
You know, you can just throw me out there and I'm gonna figure it out. And
All right, so for the Rockets coming up at 26, you got Ty Washington. You got Wesley Blake.
Yes.
You got Bryce McCallens.
I don't want them to take a Husker. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see.
Number 6'6", 197 pounds. Another young man.
Has Lydell been taken yet? Ohio State?
He is not.
Okay, so there's Wesley, Lydell. Jovic. They can't take Jovic. There's definitely no way they would take Jovic.
What's Jovic's position? He's a forward.
Yeah, a Euro forward at this point they would be too Euro heavy in the front court.
Yeah.
Ty is maybe like, I don't know. That's one of those. That Kentucky team was like a mess. So,
yeah.
I mean, Shaden Sharp didn't even play.
Right.
Like, I think Ty might be undervalued because the team situation was kind of crap. So I don't know. He could be.
I mean, at this point, it's a decent upside pick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They're the favorites in the East because of it. Before he went to Milwaukee, the thing I wrote down about him is lottery ticket. I always felt like he would be the guy that got a chance.
Oh, I kept saying Wesley Blake. It's Blake Wesley.
Yes.
Can I say this to both y'all? So we've seen shot blockers drafted.
Yeah, shades of Tyler Hero, Jamal Crawford, and Bones Highland for Blake Wesley.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. is an interesting one. He was.
Yeah, that one scares me, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I mean,
that
at
could
this
be
point, it's a
big
nice
upside.
It's an upside pick, yeah, because he was like one of the top recruits in the nation, and then.
I feel like though he's probably at about the right spot on Kevin's big board, where it's like right in the first round, second round order. Because I think there's still too much proven value before him. I don't know, but yeah, he could be amazing. PB and J. All right, so
PB and J.
All right, so the Spurs are picking now.
He put the Knicks on his list. How would you feel about that? We'll get to that answer in a moment. I mean, that reaction says it all. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 20
Yeah, maybe they're
in the 2022
clearing space to sign Kyrie Irving.
San Antonio Spurs select Blake Wesley from the
They got the two point guards I wanted the Knicks to trade down to, or both were taken by the Spurs.
Interesting.
Spurs have that means I think Lonnie Walker is a restricted free agent. I'm guessing he's gone. Dejounte Murray is a trade target for some teams. Very good. I mean, I think the Spurs would do well to keep him.
I think so too. I think he's good. But I think they've assembled quite a war chest of assets,
like talented young players. So they got Wesley and Branham. They've got Murray, Lonnie Walker, Devin Vassell, Jakob Pertl, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
So a lot of players teams would want.
I just don't know the centerpieces that they're building around. I don't know.
They don't have any star except maybe DeJounte Murray is a possible all-star.
21 points in 24 minutes off the bench in his debut against Cal State Northridge.
Yeah. Interesting. So Wesley's off the board then. So that leaves. So he was so that leaves Liddell, which I don't know much about him. Let's see. Shot blocking, hustle, on ball defense. Okay.
I feel like they have enough bigs, the Rockets now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so
Ty Washington would be interesting, except maybe they're thinking Jalen Green's going to be the primary ball handler.
They might, and if they are thinking that, then maybe Ty Washington comes off the bench as like a sixth man. I mean, if you can get a sixth man contributor at this point in the draft, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
And possibly he replaces Porter Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's upside there. Maybe I'm kind of talking myself into him.
The Ty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
And they were supportive, and that's what it was all about, was that family support, and they embraced us, and we said yes.
PB&J.
What happened here? Talk to me a little bit about the character of this young man. I mean, he's excited to go play in a system where Pop is the leader, but he's not an easy guy necessarily to play for. Why do you see that as a good fit?
Has there been anything else about where these? Because what's this conditional first round stuff when they say that? Like, does that mean they're protected? Because if they're protected and they could eventually convey as like multiple second rounders or something, that would be just brutal.
Yeah.
Work to get to be the best person he can be and the best player he can be.
Okay. The draft pick, this is from Shams. The draft picks that New York acquired from OKC in the number 11 Osmani Deng trade. 2023 protected first via Detroit. 2023 protected first via Washington. 2023 protected first via Denver.
Wow.
It depends what those protections are.
Yeah, but man, Washington and Detroit are probably both going to be bad next year.
Right. So if they're only like
they're lightly protected, those could be top 10 picks.
If it's lightly protected, those could be good. Yeah, still got to see more, but that's not. Wait. Because also they were talking about earlier. They were talking about the whatever it was, the pick Detroit got that went to Charlotte. Okay, that went straight to Charlotte. The whatever you call it, the one from Milwaukee that they got from trading Jeremy Grant.
Right.
We have another trade to announce. The Charlotte Hornets trade the draft rights to Jalen Duren, the 13th pick, to the New York Knicks for a conditional first-round pick and for 4 future second-round picks.
4 future seconds.
So they're also trading 4 future seconds.
The 26th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Wendell Moore Jr. from Duke.
Oh, okay. I remember him in the tournament.
By the way, this pick is part of the Christian Wood trade. So
okay, that's not bad. I mean, he was pretty good for Duke.
I'll tell you the first 2 words: playmaking wing. That's
good.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
So he's 38 on the Ringer big board.
He was what, 38, but that's fine. Playmaking, on-ball defense, off-ball defense, and hustle.
Uh-huh. He's let's see. He's short-ish on the wing side. He's 6'4" and a quarter.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know they were doing quarter inches now.
Yeah, they're doing quarter inches now. That is new to me too. But yeah, playmaking, on-ball defense, off-ball defense, hustle. You just gotta hope he develops a shot. I like the pick.
I think that's a pretty good pick this late in the first round. Okay. Shades of Josh Green, Josh Hart, and Gary Harris.
Yeah.
Josh Hart's pretty good.
Josh Hart's pretty good. I still think not Gary Hart or Gary Hart Jr. Corey Hart Jr.
Corey
Hart Jr. was a baseball player, right?
I think so. Yeah, Gary Hart was a presidential candidate.
He was a guy who didn't know when to wear sunglasses.
Oh man.
So, all right. It's still the protections aren't known. I don't know if the Knicks are keeping all three of those firsts that we just rattled off, and the one that's going out is the Milwaukee one. If they're keeping all three of those firsts, it's pretty good, depending on the protections. So basically, they traded 4 future seconds, the 11, and Kemba Walker for 3 future firsts.
Right, but all 3 of those future firsts are they all next year? Is that what they?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Listen, he's gonna finish at the rim. Listen, I get it. I'm a reserve judgment. I'm happy they got a player.
They got a player.
I got to take crumbs. That's what we gonna do. I'm just gonna go with him. Let's just go with that. I haven't seen much of him.
Stephen A., what would you have preferred? Taking the pick higher up, not getting more options?
Listen, had you drafted Mark Williams at number 11, I would have been happy about that. Of course, Ivy was the player that I wanted most, but I knew he wasn't going to fall. I was hoping that the New York Knicks would trade up to get him.
Okay, here's a little bit more information.
I was thinking about him out of Kentucky.
At 11?
Yeah, so shut up, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith probably watched a few games in the tournament and then decided it was going to be good. All right, Knicks get from OKC per source. 2023 first rounder from Detroit, that's 1 through 18 protected, through 2024, 1 through 13 and 25, 1 through 11 and 26, 1 through 9 and 27. 2023 from Washington, that's 1 through 14, 1 through 12 and 24, 1 through 10 and 25, 1 through 8 and 26. 2023 from Denver, that's protected 1 through 4 through 2025. So all are very protected. Yeah, all are pretty protected. Yeah, it's a little less great. But at least they don't immediately convey into seconds. They're all they still roll over to probable first. But none are going to be
They all sound like
lotteries.
Trade for players. They all sound like picks that you trade.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He was the second highest rated prospect coming out of high school. And then he had his senior year wiped out because of the pandemic. Young man from Detroit, still there waiting. You ready for this?
Okay, but
would be a perfect member of the Miami Heat.
Oh, Ty Washington.
We just saw them play in the NBA Finals, and what do they miss on the perimeter? More score. They had Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker playing quality minutes. He comes in tomorrow, playing alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, giving them a guy.
No, they didn't have Kyle Lowry playing quality minutes. That was the problem. Kyle Lowry been playing. I think they could have beaten the Celtics. I mean, if he'd been healthy.
Yeah. The Denver pick of the trio may have gone to the Hornets, so they only keep the Washington and Detroit.
Okay, well, Denver picks are not worth anything.
Right.
We are in the home of Kennedy Chandler as well, and his story is absolutely incredible. Size will be
The thing though is that they were just talking to Stephen A. Smith, like at least they got a player. I didn't hear. Who
Yeah, I didn't hear what they said they did.
Tobias Harris, John Morant is a mentor, and you see him sitting with his family, and the sacrifice by his dad, Kylan, his greatest mentor. His dad was fired for skipping out on overtime on a weekend job so he could drive his son 10 hours to the Chris Paul CP3 basketball camp when he was 14 years
old. Get water over your back.
Dad doesn't regret
it. Right.
Love you, Papa Chandler. And the thing is, I'm loving seeing the fathers around the NBA showing up at games, being cheering on their sons for so very long, and rightfully so, because I'm a mama's boy. You would see a player do an interview, and of course they would say, "Hi, mom. Thank mom." Now I love seeing stories like this where he's embracing his father. And he got fired for it.
Fired. And he didn't tell his son about it.
He got fired for taking the practice.
There's an awful lot of these athletes that have great fathers in their lives.
Yep.
We don't talk about it enough. Not that mamas deserve all the love in the world,
Yes, they
but
do.
so do a lot of these dads.
The pick is in. Here's the commissioner.
Hardy. This would be great.
I have another trade to announce.
Okay.
As part of a trade to be finalized later, the Philadelphia 76ers are trading to the Memphis Grizzlies the draft rights to David Roddy, the 23rd pick.
I think we knew that.
Yeah, God, the Grizzlies are just so active.
Seventh pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Nikola Jovic from Belgrade, Serbia.
Okay.
Jovic.
So he was the highest guy still on the board, I think. Has Lydell hasn't been picked
Lydell
yet.
has not been taken yet.
Okay. So he's the top guy on.
I think Liddell is an upperclassman.
Yeah, he's a junior.
The 2014 draft that is now a two-time league MVP.
So yeah, after Liddell, then it's
People think I'm
Ty Washington,
Jokic though.
and then Max Christie on O'Connor's big board.
Every time I say my name, they're like, "Are you related or something?" I'm cool with it. You
The
know,
weirdest
but, like,
thing about the whole Knicks trade is to shed Kemba's salary, and which was only $8 million. It's like
That's a pittance. That's nothing.
It's not enough to now get something.
No.
Like, if it would be one thing if they traded that or to get rid of Fournier or something, even though I like Fournier.
Yeah, or Randall.
Yep.
I hope these two guys can meet. You know, when you hear Jovic talk about him, like, you hope there's a shout out as well. Monica has much more.
What did you say?
This side looks bad. I mean, I'm not good with the hats.
Wait, so the Warriors are on the clock now?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks big.
Jovic is awesome. He's talking about how he doesn't like the way the hat fits.
Look at how tight his pants are.
Oh my god.
I mean, just everything, everything I did in my life.
Oh man, I would love it if he can come in and contribute on the Heat. I love my Euros. Love them.
Yeah.
For Miami organization seeing me as a good talent and drafting me. I hope I'll meet Jokic soon. I didn't meet him yet, but I hope I'll meet him soon.
What if you meet him and he is sending your shot into the stands? Is that okay?
Oh. I'm not sure about that one.
All right, Taylor, for folks that aren't familiar with your game, obviously you have international experience. How has international play helped you prepare for the NBA?
I mean, I played against grown men, so that's the thing that helps.
That's why you like your Euros.
Mm-hmm.
Playing against, like I said, grown men. It was really tough there. But, I think my basketball IQ is one thing that I practice there a lot, with practices and everything. So, yeah, I think I'm in a little bit of advantage there, just because I played against grown men. So that's all.
I also have a sneaky suspicion that your personality is going to make a name for you. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, thank you again.
Back to you.
Good for him. Good for him. Miami, man.
Yeah.
Switch to basketball.
They don't usually draft That's good.
No, they don't.
He just has a little swagger to him.
Oh, absolutely, and he's right because he's played against professionals for a while.
They're good at, and yeah, Miami's great at going really deep to find guys, whether it's in the EuroLeague, you know, undrafted guys,
or even late, like getting Bam, where they did just the edge of the lottery. Tyler Hero, where they got him, like they
dribble handoff, passes to cutters. He's a point forward.
Man, so who is Golden State gonna pick, Larry?
We noticed that when they were losing to the Boston Celtics.
They should take Liddell. They could use a big.
Oh man, could they? Holy cow! What are they gonna do with Kevon Looney? Are they gonna pay him?
Is he unrestricted free agent?
I don't know if he's unrestricted or restricted. I can't remember.
He's probably not restricted because I think he's already signed a second contract.
Oh, okay,
I don't know if he's a free agent or not. I guess his contract's up. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he was such a valuable guy though for them.
When it comes to drafting,
they haven't lost with that.
Yeah. Especially because of the the decline and health.
Yeah, it all depends on what Wiseman will be.
Right.
Who will be.
Right. So yeah, it looks like Looney is a free agent. And as is Peyton.
Yeah, I think Peyton's even more valuable almost. I don't know though, because
Yeah.
Looney's the only big guy. So,
right, that's why they got it. They should re-sign Peyton, let Looney walk, unfortunately, and then draft Liddell.
In the 2022 NBA draft,
EJ Liddell.
the Golden State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Oh, I love it. I like it.
that's how the rich get richer, right there.
Yeah.
They took Kuminga, who was like, everyone's like, I don't know,
Who fell quite a lot. Yeah. This feels like. I mean, Jordan Poole was taken like in the 20s, and people were like, "How did they get him?" I trust the Warriors. I think this is gonna work out. PB&J, whose favorite food is Wagyu steak.
I don't even know what Wagyu steak is.
I think it's like it's sort of like Kobe beef. I think it's like some region of Japan.
So O'Connor has him as shades of Harrison Barnes, Kevin Knox, and Jabari Parker.
Well, hopefully he has a career as good as Kevin Knox has. Or Jabari Parker. Harrison Barnes. I mean, that's what they're hoping for, I guess. Harrison Barnes, obviously.
Yeah. Man, so the only thing they give him is ball handling in the little so.
But at his size, that's great. So still they are gonna. They might just need to rely on Wiseman as their backup or starting center.
Yeah, so his height is 6'9.25", so he's not big.
Right. He's a power forward.
Yeah, but he's bigger than everyone else on the team.
Yeah. I guess Draymond's 6'9"-ish.
Is he 6'9"? I don't think.
Yeah, he might be shorter. You might be right.
Yeah. But yeah, wow.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S20
Man.
trade in a Galaxy. Any year.
Interesting.
Your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of, and traded in for something.
So this commercial with Matthew Stafford, the first few times I watched it, like I didn't get the commercial because I didn't realize that that was Stafford.
Oh, I was watching it with my brother and I was like, who is that guy? I get that there's a joke that's like something, but I don't know who the hell he is.
That was my reaction
brother
too.
knew who he was.
And it's like fail on AT&T's part. I mean, then I finally found out it was Matthew Stafford. I'm like, okay, I get the whole 12-year blah 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 thing. It says Memphis pick is in, traded to the Rockets.
Whoa.
Hold the phone.
Old Matthew Stafford. What are we doing here?
Who did the Rockets take at 26?
They took the guy that was like the Duke guy.
Oh yeah. Wendell Moore Jr.
Or according to the ABC telecast, the Mavericks took that guy.
Right. So he's
Which
got.
I don't know why they do it that way, because that was like a trade that was already made.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but interesting. God, Memphis is all over the place.
Families, friends, and loved ones share close bonds.
I still don't know about this Patrick Baldwin Jr. stuff.
From getting very sick from COVID-19.
What do you read?
I mean, it's just like it doesn't minus complete ball stopper who takes far too many shots outside of the system. I'm sure Steve Kerr's like, oh, I mean, but that's something I feel like you can fix, right?
That is, I mean, if anybody could fix it, it's the Warriors, because that's like the antithesis of what they do.
Complete ball stopper
on a team that's all about like finding the better shot.
That's what I was gonna say. Or maybe you need 4 lines for your family.
Yeah, it must be just an upside pick. They like his athleticism, and he'll be like in the Kuminga spot next year, where barely plays, probably doesn't play in the playoffs.
Makes a mistake or stops the ball and gets pulled.
Yeah,
and then has to think about it for a couple days. Wagyu beef. Oh man, I love it.
Some housekeeping here.
Interesting. So good for that.
So Jalen Duren was acquired by the Knicks from the Hornets. Okay. Then he was sent to the Pistons along with Kemba Walker per Woj. We are still getting more information on this 3-team trade. So Jalen Duren is going to Detroit. And we're getting more information on what the Knicks are receiving, but we know Kemba Walker's on the move as well.
I smell something here.
Okay.
Because you got rid of Kemba Walker's dollars. So you accumulate money because you want to pay somebody like Jalen Rose. I'm Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry.
Jalen Rose.
Oh, so you still don't have any
Jalen Rose.
We'll see how that plays out right now.
Me, man.
Let's go to the commissioner.
In the 2022 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Ty Washington.
Woo! You got Ty. So I wonder what
I like it.
26th pick. If the Rockets traded that, or if they just ended up taking 4 first-rounders. I mean, they need players, so.
Oh man, this is just.
Yeah, I think that's good value. 29, that's good value. Because he was during the NCAA season, he was projected at like 10, 11. Even like in recent mock drafts, they had him going. Stephen A. Smith wanted the Knicks to take him at 11.
I know. Wow. I'm intrigued now. I don't know what he costs though. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You know what the.
And she has dialysis as well.
I mean, if they traded,
healthy,
the Duke kid, Wendell Moore or whatever, then I'm all right. But I didn't want to trade anything better.
They you would have hoped they'd get something else because they moved down.
Yeah.
6 to 29.
When the commissioner says my name, I can already see it right now that she.
And so now they're talking about.
She's gonna cry.
Now I'm seeing it looks like OKC with Denver. So there's a trade there. Oh, Memphis via Minnesota. Jesus Christ. You got to do a better job on this telecast, like of showing us what's going on.
Yeah, they need like what they usually show during trades, where you see everything, the full list of everything going back and forth.
She just told me, she just told me the whole time, stay patient, stay humble, and when my name got called, she was just like, you worked your whole life for this. Now just go out there and pretty much finish what you started.
You are starting your NBA journey, and if things hold, you do end up in Memphis. That's a team that is young. They defend. It seems like it fits your game.
Yeah,
but he's not going to Memphis.
They got great coach over there. They got a lot of real over there.
Come on.
What in the hell? I just don't get it.
Folks.
They could do so much better.
Yeah, they have Woj like sitting there with them.
Congratulations, Ty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To you, Kevin.
And he's wearing a Memphis hat.
So much, Monica. This young man, when you talk about skill set, 5-star recruit, phenomenal player. It feels like coming out of this program, he's going to blossom.
Yeah, so he's got pedigree from back in the day. He was in a messed up system, or I mean, not a messed up system, but a messed up situation. I like it.
Where point guards are known to not be able to excel to their full abilities. Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
Where the best player on the team didn't play on the team.
Right. And then and lost and could have done more in the tournament if not losing to St. Pete, the Cinderella.
Yeah. Well, if I hadn't picked them, then they would have done much more. So that's on me. So.
But
sorry,
by
dude.
picking them, you allowed Ty Washington to fall to the Rockets.
Playing the long game. So now OKC is back on the clock because all they do is draft.
Yeah, but it says proposed. It's traded to Denver. This upcoming OKC pick.
Okay, well.
Yeah, we'll end it after this. This is the last pick of the first round.
Okay.
With the 30th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Peyton Watson from UCLA.
First UCLA freshman drafted.
Whatever happened to those other UCLA guys that were like Johnny Juzang? And
I think he went back again this year. I think Johnny Juzang.
He was there again this past
No,
year.
he's there, but I think he's staying another year.
Ah.
I thought he was so awesome, and people lost track of how clutch his shot was against Gonzaga before like Gonzaga hits the half quarter to knock him out.
The Suggs shot, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Juzang was good. Yeah, that team just they didn't do it last year.
Peyton Watson, 32 on the ringer. Big board, shades of Herb Jones.
And he has a lot of upside, you know, as a
Wow.
versatile defender. And you have to look at UCLA, like they've been churning out much.
And he has to put on the OKC hat, even though he's going to Denver.
Oh God, weird.
Yeah,
I'm really interested to see how the experts like rank.
Yeah,
grade all this out.
I mean, early returns, I would have to think an A or A+ for both OKC and Detroit, right?
Yeah, I think good grade for the Rockets as well.
Yeah, it's the
Rockets.
Rockets.
They got a lot of value.
Assuming they keep all four guys, they got Ty, they got Wendell Moore Jr., they got obviously Jabari Smith,
and the guy from LSU.
Right, Tari Eason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night for the Rockets. Good night for OKC getting Chet, Jalen Williams, and Gorgie Jang. Not Gorgie Jang. And yeah, Detroit getting Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey.
God.
And the Knicks
Detroit.
getting nobody.
Usmani, don't call me Gorgie Jang.
All right. Well, that's been the first round of a very eventful draft. Thanks for joining me, John.
Thank you, Larry. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Knicks have a bunch of future firsts that may or may not convey, and they got their eye on something. But
they got their eye on something. They can trade those. Hopefully not for Kyrie Irving.
No. Yeah. Hopefully not. Maybe for Donovan Mitchell. I don't know.
Oh God, that would make me very sad.
Yeah.
Unless
I could definitely see that.
Unless he becomes Bubble Donovan Mitchell again or something.
Yeah.
With them. Like there was a time when I really liked Donovan Mitchell, and it was actually not that long ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And you know, there's definitely still room to grow on his ends and to play better.
Yeah.
And
speaking of which, I think we all have room to grow, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to end this draft night. On a future-looking night, we all have room to grow. And if you really want to grow, you should subscribe to @LarryTheAthlete on all social media. And you should, or not subscribe, follow. And then subscribe to on any of your favorite podcast platforms to Larry Knows Sports. And with that, all your dreams could be hoop dreams and all your days can be days of thunder.